Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Morning. Merry day after Christmas. That's not a thing.
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day. Chris and I will fight. What does Boxing Day mean?
I think they used to box things up and give to the poor the day after the Christmas.
Oh, well, that's good.
No, but continue making fun of it.
Yeah. You and I are going to fight, which we almost did. Boy, that was a good return to the office. Like, hey, Chris. Bah! Oh, he's watching Man City right now. And my timing was pretty good.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah. A near goal, then a goal, but it was waved off.
It was a blocked penalty.
It was?
Yeah.
But then they scored it.
He was offsides.
No, I know, but they did score, right?
Yeah. Well, you don't score if you're offsides.
Well, it did go in the net. But then there was a flag. On the side, Chris knew it right away. I need that game to be over. What do we got, about 10 minutes?
20 minutes.
I've lost Chris officially, but I have you. And it is the day after Christmas. Hopefully everybody had a good day yesterday with family, friends, loved ones, whatever it may be. Jason Ross here, back and better than ever. We'll see about that. Dave was in doing the solo work with Chris for a while, and now it's my turn. As Dave is off for the rest of this week and next week, we got a day off in between there with New Year's. What's interesting is, I think this year with Christmas being on a Wednesday is probably the largest variety of days off around Christmas for employers and employees. I know a good amount of people that are off today. We are not, which is fine. It's okay. And the same thing will be next week with New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. A lot of people, most people, not everybody, are off New Year's Day. I think I've heard a lot of people are off New Year's Eve. We are not. And for the most part over the years, I mean, working in radio, I would say we work more days than most, but look, we got a good thing. No one's really complaining here. But Wednesday's the weird day to have a holiday like this, because Christmas and New Year's are always on the same day of the week. And so for Wednesday, we got Christmas Eve off, but we didn't get, and Christmas, but then we're working today. And next week it's just New Year's Eve. I don't know the right way to do it. Give everybody all the days off, except for we're unique. I know the country station, they're not working today.
Yeah.
It was another one of those days where I pulled into the parking lot and went, well, oh yeah, Chris.
Guess what? They weren't here. They'll probably won't be here next week either.
At all?
I don't know.
I do know this. Their program director is a big proponent of taking this time off because of we're getting into the minutia of how some of our business works. But this time of year, the ratings period is just different. It's just as some would say, it doesn't count. Well, you always want people listening. You always want your fans.
It doesn't count. I'm out of here.
Exactly. But we're in an industry where, this for some, this could be the most important time of the year for sports, right? We're right in the middle, close to the middle of the Kings season. We've got the end of the football season. This isn't the ideal time, I would say, for stations to take time off. You can have shows and individuals and all that, but that's the reality of it. I know when I was here last, maybe a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about Christmas time, And I know I'm never the first one nor the last one to put Christmas up, lights up, decorate, tree, all that stuff. But I do know that some people are quick to take things down. And I would say today is way too early for me. This weekend still feels early, but I could see some people going, okay, we got to the weekend. It's time to do it. It feels like you should at least wait to the new year. We're usually probably the second. Well, see, since the first will be on next Thursday, I know I won't take it down Thursday. It might come down the 3rd, but probably the 10th would be.
Yeah,
my
but
guess.
to be fair, you've got like 6 more Christmas parties to.
Yeah, we really haven't even had Christmas yet. Our family's weird. We kind of did Christmas yesterday. I mean, we had the family together. We ate like it was Christmas. But as far as gift giving and presents and all that stuff, yeah, we stretch it out. You take care of everything yesterday, Chris, for the most part?
Yeah.
Okay. Good, bad, and different?
Yeah, it's fine.
When did the tamales happen yet?
Yes.
Oh.
That was last Saturday.
Oh. How'd that go?
It's good. It's fun.
Did you do your part?
I did.
No, you're not even the sous chef. You go get the stuff, the supplies.
I get everything. I make everyone their drinks.
Yeah.
I'm the taster to.
That's an important job. I mean, people think that's.
This needs more garlic. This
Oh.
needs more salt.
Does anybody get offended when you're like, could use a little something here?
No, because it's
want
one
it
of those
right.
like we need to know what we need to put in it.
Knowing you though, do you ever prank? You're like, yeah, this could use a little something.
No, because then you're ruining the tamales.
Okay.
I did make my little cousins come with me for a few trips to
To the store.
let them know, like, hey, this
could be your job.
is going to be your job in a bit. So
I get the feeling though you like making the drinks.
yes,
Yeah. So you're the drink. You're the bartender. You're the Isaac of the Love Boat. Do you even know who that is?
sure.
You don't even know who that is, do you? No.
The guy on the love boat. I'm
Yeah.
guessing the bartender on the
Yeah.
love boat.
There you go. Good work. Did we almost have a goal in there?
No.
Oh, okay. There was some body language.
They're getting close.
Okay. I mean, Chris can't even sit right now. So we've got progress.
Hey, doesn't this remind you of the good old days?
Yes. What'll be great is if his mic is on or off, we'll see if you guys can hear him through the windows like we can when something significant happens. Is this a significant match besides it just being your team?
What do you mean by significant?
I mean, does it mean anything if they win today?
Yeah, they could go up in the standings. They haven't been doing well for the
But
last
this
few
isn't
months.
for any kind of, one
for
of
the Premier League.
the Premier. This is for Premier League.
Yeah, this is their season.
This is the championship.
No, it's like the regular season.
Okay, yeah. So it's a regular season game. It's like the Kings and Pistons tonight.
Easy there.
Well, give me an example. What is it?
No, it's like, I mean, it's a regular season game, but
Okay.
you're like saying like, oh, there are unimportant games. There's not an unimportant.
I'm not saying
game.
it's unimportant. I'm just saying there are different things where, like, if they win, they win this cup. It's not for that.
No.
Okay. Not saying it's unimportant. Sheesh. Someone's a bit uptight in there. Again, hopefully everybody had a wonderful holiday break. We've got a jam-packed show today. It is Thursday. We have some of our regulars for us. At least I believe. I think we're going to hear from Kelly Brothers today.
Are you on goofball pills or something?
Well, he is.
Once again, I need to change for that location.
We are going to have Kelly Brothers, I believe, today.
Good at business.
And then at 8 o'clock, it's Thursday. You know what that means. From The Athletic, Sam Amick.
I know I'm shamelessly pumping the poll here.
So those two are scheduled for today. But yes, we will talk a lot about the Christmas day in sports yesterday. We had, 7 games, 2 NFL, 5 NBA. We have to get into the struggles of the Sacramento Kings, and I will be on that list of people worried, concerned, bothered by what's going on with this team. Also, admittedly, a bit puzzled because I do think this team is better, but as they say, you are what your record is, right? This is who they are right now, a team that's 4 games below 500 and is struggling. So we will discuss that, why maybe some of that's happening, what can be fixed. Is there a turnaround in sight? We will get into that. So kind of the Kings have hit that benchmark of 30 games. And, there is more season to go. It does not end today. But I feel like that phrasing of it's early, we're not that early anymore. And I'm not saying panic time, but we're 30 games in. So more than half of the season to go, but it's not 10 games in. Relax. It's 30. And so larger sample size, more areas to realize of this might be who they are in some realm. So we'll get into that today. We will get into some of the NFL playoff picture as it's starting to clear up a bit more with the 2 results yesterday, but more results. I mean, we had football Wednesday. We'll have Thursday night football today. For whatever reason, we don't have football, NFL, at least on Friday. My gosh, NFL, get it together. 3 games on Saturday and then a boatload of games on Sunday to wrap up week 17. And then one more to go. All the college bowl games to get to. So we have got a lot to cover between now and the end of the show when Alan Stiles is in, and we'll have a little crosstalk with Alan.
I think we might actually have Brendan in today.
Is Brendan in for Alan?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh. So I'm
not sure. It might be Alan.
Are you making stuff up?
I know that Brendan is going to be filling in for Alan.
I know that's right, but you know what? I was with them at a dinner the other night at the Kings game. Is it today? You might be right. Something's telling me it's today. And
I make sure Brendan's in here for celebrity birthday.
Yeah, but that's, I kind of handcraft this. Let me take a quick look. I think, Chris, you may dominate today, but we'll see. We shall see.
What are you asking? What year movies came out?
Well, you always win that. Always win that. But we'll see. We will have someone joining us for Crosstalk Celebrity Birthdays to promote what's on the show. And you might be right. It might be Brendan Nunez, but we'll hang tight and find out for sure. All right, we will take our first break. When we come back, we will get you started with leading off 3 topics that we will discuss in further detail throughout the show. Jason Ross, Christopher Lott hanging out here on the day after Christmas, better known as Boxing Day. We've got the show coming your way next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave coming to you from my good friends at American Energy. Look, it's already cold outside. It's only going to get colder. American Energy wants to help you stay warm and make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of the $49 tune-up inspection. Normally, $119, $49 right now, and that includes a full safety and duct inspection. And check it out. If your system's over 10 years old, and I'll bet it is, the tune-up, yeah, it's free. It's free from a company that's been in business since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ Better Business Bureau. Check their Yelp, check their Google reviews. Don't take my word for it. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. If you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Check them out at theaeway.com and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Let's do it. Leading off the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
In the second half, Indiana outscored Sacramento 70-43. Well, there aren't a lot of fans left in the building. The ones that are here are letting the Kings know how much they did not like this performance, particularly in the second half. Final score, Pacers 122-95. It ends up in an absolute blowout. The Kings end up shooting 36.5%. Far and away their worst shooting performance of the season. And they just end up getting smoked.
I hope you guys enjoyed the rewinds while I was gone. Chris, how'd those go? Sounded good. Was it a challenge with without it being live or easier in some respects?
The last one was pretty tricky.
Yeah, something jumped
so much
in there. Wasn't there a flip? Something happened weird.
Yeah, I was trying to get everything right. So I usually have enough time to double check everything. And I didn't get a chance to double check that one.
Gotcha. But it all worked. The last couple have been challenging.
Hi, Pappy.
Last couple have been challenging, that's for sure. You heard the final call of the last game the Kings played against the Indiana Pacers. That was the double whammy, right? The Kings had the double curse there where they shot their worst performance of the year, gave up their highest percentage, and gave them no chance. And, they're in a spot now where every game they arrive at, including tonight, they all feel like must-wins just to stop the bleeding, even if they get one. And that's a bad feeling to be in. And they've set themselves up for it. They've deserved this. They have earned this opportunity, if we want to say it that way. It's a real head scratcher for me because, again, I'll go into this in much more detail throughout the show. I personally believe this team is better than this. That's not this grand statement, but, at some point you've got to adjust your own belief, your own expectations with what you're watching. And, there are other comps in other sports. Certainly, I'm not going to go to the Niners because the Niners, I think, had Super Bowl aspirations, and I think that was fair. We're not talking about championship aspirations for the Kings, but I think a top 6 playoff team, I don't think that was crazy. I really don't. It's looking like it is today. And also why the Niners to me aren't a great comparison is of the amount of injuries and how many they had and what time of year they had them. Kings have had some, but I'm not putting that on this 13 and 17. The bulk of the roster's been around for the games. They really have. So could the Jets be a fair comp where people thought this could be a team to watch out for? They had a rough year the year before, but now Rodgers is healthy. During the year, they had Devontae Adams. It's not the same as DeMar DeRozan, but people thought there was a talent upgrade, myself included. And then just as the year went along, you're like, what is wrong with this team? What is wrong with this team? Now, I feel the difference is the Jets were getting more, obviously, national hype, being a New York team, and then they completely underperformed. Well, the Kings are underperforming if those expectations... And people wouldn't say they're underperforming if they didn't think this was a good team, myself included, right? If they were 13 and 17 and this is about where you thought they'd be, then no big deal. But I think the reason why people are bothered and concerned and want to make all these grand changes is because they thought they would be better. I don't think that's wrong to think. I think that's the right approach. And I think most people thought this team would be better than they are right now at 13 and 17. Now, certainly there are roads to turn it around. It can be done with a significant move. I still think it can be done without. But what kind of patience do people have? Not fans, not media. I think all of everybody else's views is a lot shorter, and that's not the way you need to do things. But we'll get into them in more detail. We'll get your opinions on it as well. But the Kings tonight, back at home again, trying to break this losing streak at home overall, and they are in a bad way after doing all that work to get back to 500. Now they're 13 and 17. All right, let's get to cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
And that should do it. 34 seconds on the play clock, 24 on the game clock. The players will walk to midfield, and this one is done on Christmas with the Ravens taking out the Houston Texans. Our final score in Houston, Ravens 31, Texans 2 on the Ravens Game Day Network.
Yeah, it was 2 Christmas Day football games Wednesday, which we already complain about Thursday football, or the players do. Not enough time to get ready. Well, quick turnaround for the Ravens, for the Texans, for the Chiefs, for the Steelers. Now, I know they all played, Saturday of last week, but still, Christmas Day for them. And we didn't have very good games. I really thought the Chiefs-Steelers game had opportunity to be a very good football game. The Chiefs have been skating by in a lot of their games. They were pretty special yesterday. The Ravens were absolutely dominant in time of just controlling the game. Time of possession, gave up just the 2 points. And it helped set the terms a little bit for what the AFC playoff picture is going to look like. The Chiefs have clinched the 1 seed. They've got football's best record now, 15-1, as they've been spectacular. The Ravens put themselves at 11-5 with an opportunity to clinch their division. Not yet, but the Steelers, with a 3-game losing streak at the wrong time, have had the Ravens catch them and now pass them. And so yesterday was dominated by the AFC, some of the best of the AFC. The Ravens, when they're right, they look really good. The Chiefs have just found ways to win, but yesterday they looked really good. Still a believer in what the Steelers can do. I mean, I think if they get the right matchup, they could be a problem in the postseason. And the Texans are in, but they're also leaking oil. They're 9-7, after the loss yesterday. And they've lost their last couple. They lost some of their mojo with that injury on the Chiefs game over the weekend with Tank Dell. And so, they've run into two good teams. Like the Texans, I think, are the best of their division, but that's not saying a lot. Being the best of the Jags, Titans, Colts. They deserve to win the division. They get that spot. They get that honor. But I don't see them having a long playoff run. And that's where things change year to year, right? If you go this time last year, kind of one of the picks du jour after his rookie season was C.J. Stroud. He's not a bad quarterback by any means. That's not my point here. But I think most people had C.J. Stroud in the top 10 in the NFL QBs. I mean, to me, he had a great rookie year. You got to give guys multiple years to really, I think, establish themselves. And we get too caught up in moving people up the ladder, I think. I think a lot of people are guilty of that. And maybe that's more of a fantasy football thing. But, Breece Hall, for example, like that's the guy you got to draft really high in your fantasy draft. Well, let's stay away from Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry. They're older. Who are some of the best running backs in the league this year. Those two guys, right? They've done it. Sometimes you got to trust what you've seen and believe that they're still very good. And those two guys have been spectacular. So the games yesterday, we'll get in a little more detail what that looks like overall for the AFC playoff picture, but certainly statements made by the Chiefs and by the Ravens. All right, let's get to cut number 3.
Cut number 3.
It's a long trip. They're playing well. There goes Goofy! Straight to the rack! Here comes Goofy, a long one. He nails it! Inside, outside. Goofy can't be stopped.
Was this the Knicks Spurs game?
Yes.
Who won? Goofy?
Yeah. I believe Goofy was Cat. Which is ironic because Goofy's a dog.
I missed all of that game. And the Goofy. So was this like the Simpsons, like the Toy Story, that kind of thing?
Exactly.
I had no idea that was even happening. I did see some of the clips on social media. But basketball, 5 games on Christmas. I know the NFL numbers. Well, I believe the NFL numbers will do better. This is going to be another conversation that we're going to have. I mean,
won't that be weird since it's on Netflix?
Yeah, I mean, they can measure it probably more exactly, but also, I believe we're still. I know Netflix did that big clean out where they weren't allowing other people to, if Chris had the account, Dave and I couldn't be watching off Chris's account, allegedly. I know some of that's still happening. And the fact that the NBA games were on over-the-air cable, I should say, ABC and ESPN. But the NFL still is king. So I wonder how it will do. But the other part of yesterday, this isn't, a new conversation, and maybe this will come up with Kelly Brothers, but the fact that the 2 NFL games were on Netflix, we've already got Amazon. We've had games on, if you think over the years in different sports, Apple TV, Facebook, Yahoo. It is a little surprising in some regards that we're not paying for all of our sports to watch, but I think we're going to be doing that. And I just wonder if that's a spot where it's going to pop the sports bubble or not. I don't know, because it allows us probably to have these massive, massive contracts. And maybe, what that'll do is maybe that'll be a resurgence in attending games, because I know some of the knock on going to games is I'd rather sit on my own couch, on my own screen TV, whatever size you have, with my own drinks, my own bathroom, my own food. I get all that, my own parking spot. But if it gets to a point where everything is paid for, as far as
the key is to make it more expensive to watch at home.
The key is to do that?
Yeah.
Which is
to get more people to go to the games.
What they're trying to do, right? And it may not seem like it. Well, I've got Netflix. Okay. Do you have Amazon? Oh, I've got Amazon. Okay. Do you have Peacock? Well, At some point, if it keeps getting stretched out over all these different entities, well, I got all of that, but I ditched cable. Wait, the game's on cable? So that'll be something that'll be interesting to watch. But we had 5 NBA games yesterday. Knicks took care of the Spurs. You had the Timberwolves winning in Dallas. 76ers winning in Boston. Lakers winning in San Francisco. And then the Suns getting a home win. I've got a little bit of a theory. May not be foolproof, but I'll test it with you guys a little bit later about teams playing on Christmas. All right, the Kings play today. We'll get into that. We've got much more on Christmas in the NBA, NFL on Christmas as well. But when we come back, I've been gone for a few shows, and there's a couple of segments I want to take to just some of the things that happened while I was gone that I'd still like to discuss. We'll get into that. Again, Sam Amick coming up, Kelly Brothers, all that as we take you till 10 right here on Sacktown Sports.
De'Aaron Fox plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual spike to the left hand. The Kings lead by 3.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Thursday, getting out the door to a few sprinkles here and there, but no major impactful weather for the roads early this morning. Into the afternoon, expect to have cloudy skies, temps in the upper 50s with best rain coming through after sunset into early Friday. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Coach Christie here reminding you it's the final days of year-end savings right now at Folsom Lake Kia. Don't miss last chance massive year-end discounts. Hurry to Folsom Lake Kia or FolsomLakeKia.com.
Ready for winter? Forecasters are already predicting record sick days. Don't become a healthcare statistic. Fight sickness with fitness. Create a daily workout and stick to it. Let the Good Feet store help you meet your workout goals. With Good Feet Arch Supports, the pain in your feet, knees, hips, and back become history. And Good Feet Arch Supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Visit goodfeet.com for an appointment or just stop in. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back, January 16th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Just once a year, NorCal's largest gathering for anglers, hunters, boaters, RVers, and off-roading enthusiasts. Buy the latest gear, discover the best destinations, and check out the all-new, fully redesigned Toyota Land Cruiser. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 16th through 19th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think Happy Honda Days. Let's explain. Happy is a good thing. We all like happy. Honda stands for quality, reliability, comfort, design, peace of mind, value at resale, and a lot more feel-good words. Days is how long you have left to take advantage of Elk Grove Honda's year-end clearance underway right now. Elk Grove Honda is located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or visit us at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Here comes Floyd, throw over the middle. Intercepted by Fred Warner.
Faithful to the Bay.
Fred gets up and runs back the other way, 30.
Be there December 30th for Monday Night Football at Levi Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers face the Detroit Lions.
20, one block and he's in.
It's the final regular season home game of the campaign and presented by SAP.
Touchdown!
Tickets are available now. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets.
San Francisco!
It's time now for your 49ers injury report, brought to you by Jeremy Winter, attorney at law. He cares because he's been there. Deebo Samuels exited early in the third quarter, but was able to return on the next drive. Deebo had a great game, had 7 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown, but it wasn't enough as the 49ers lose in Miami, 29-17. San Francisco falls to 6-9 on the year and are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Next up for the Niners, it's Detroit.
Serious accident. You deserve the law offices of Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237. Jeremy lost his mother in a car accident and knows firsthand the pain caused by tragedy. That is why he became an attorney to fight for others who are going through a tragedy. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, you deserve more. You deserve better. You deserve Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237.
Hey, it's time to open up your calendar app for some incredible live events coming your way. This is the Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar, bringing you the hottest shows in town. Kick off 2025 with country superstars Dylan Scott and Jackson Dean. They're hitting the stage at Thunder Valley on January 10th for a night of hot country hits. Then on January 11th, laugh until your sides hurt with comedy legend Bill Engvall. He's performing live at Thunder Valley, a show you won't want to miss. And the one and only Justin Timberlake is bringing electrifying energy to the Golden One Center on January 15th. This is your chance to see an icon in action. For a more intimate vibe, catch Bryce Vine at Ace of Spades on January 25th. It'll be an unforgettable night of alternative hip-hop. And finally, looking ahead to February 20th, Old 60 lights up Ace of Spades with their unique blend of rock and soul. Get your tickets now because these shows will sell out fast. For details and updates, visit SacktownSports.com. And stay tuned. This is your ticket to the best live entertainment in the 916, the Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's going on for the wrap-up the year sales events?
We're giving you a head start on next year with up to $16,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s, starting as low as $36,325.
Wow, you guys are always looking forward.
Not only do we have great deals on new Ram trucks, the Hoblet family dealers is growing with a huge selection of used cars at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter, with over 220 vehicles available and over 45 under $20,000.
Now more than ever, Hoblet needs to be your first stop when you need a new or used car. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
16,000 total net savings on select new Ram 1500 models after 10,500 factory rebates and 5,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 1,500 Chrysler Capital bonus cash. Must finance through Chrysler Capital qualify. 500 business upfit, business ownership, and 500 upfit required. And 2,000 Ford Conquest cash. Must own or lease a Ford. No trade-in required. 10th is net savings. 36,325 sample VIN 544-890. See dealer for details.
I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Got a knack for making things
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
That's right. I don't know if this I'm back is for me or for Chris. Because Chris is back.
I've been back.
Yeah, but you're back now. You're seated. You're locked in.
We'll see about that.
I know you're on your phone. You're what? 1-1 tie, 1-1 draw.
Yep.
Happy, unhappy.
Yeah.
You love ties.
No, I think that did they deserve to win? No. Did they deserve to lose? No. So
they tied.
Tie's fine.
No regrets. No regrets
about
watching that for a tie.
Why would I regret it?
I don't know. You seem fine with a tie.
I'm not happy about it.
Are you sad?
What is the frustrated?
But you didn't lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you didn't win.
See, I'd be upset if then they went into extra time and then there was no score and then they had penalties and it was just the stupid penalties. That's like, oh, well, then you deserve a win then.
What if they won on that?
Well, they didn't deserve a win.
Why?
Because that's not winning.
But that's how they ended in the champion game, the last game.
Because you have to end the game.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. You have to end the game.
Yeah.
But not now.
No.
Okay.
Can't wait for tonight's tie. See how you feel about that.
In the NFL?
Yeah.
I hate them. Hate them.
But they didn't deserve to win.
Why?
Because you didn't have more points than the other team.
Break the tie.
Let's just kick field goals to see who wins it.
No. You can have rules that you can keep playing soccer. You don't think they'll ever score?
Maybe not.
Ever.
Well,
they each scored once. They're bound to score again.
This was Everton's first goal in 3 games.
Oh, that's a bad tie.
Yeah, that is.
See, so you should be upset. I'm trying to get an emotion.
Welcome
I said
back. Frustrated.
Oh, okay. Welcome back in. Would love to hear from you guys too. What's your deal today? Are you guys working? What's your deal? You guys working today? You off today? You checking out the show? We got a few people checking in. Good morning to you guys all. Very much appreciated that you're here. Zeebs is here. Appreciate that. Sauce Castillo, good morning. Hope you had a Merry Christmas. Hope you did too. So do a little roll call today on the text line, 916-339-1140, or on the YouTube. You working today? And if so, what time you going in? Let us know. We appreciate that. Because I think this one is going to be a variety of different answers. And not if you're taking the day off, is your company making you work today? I think there's a difference here where I feel like a lot of companies are off today, and that's probably the right thing. I mean, the weird thing about the morning show, obviously, is I was with the in-laws down in Central California, not that far, an hour, 45 minutes away. And, I had to stop because it was like, well, look, I got to get up early. I got to leave. We're all having fun, playing games, doing some fun Christmas stuff. And, enjoying myself. And it's like, well, part of the deal. I get it. I signed up for it. I will say this, Chris. Did you guys play any games on Christmas?
No.
No games? Are you guys not a game-playing family? Or
It depends.
Okay. Any movies?
Of course.
Oh. I know that's going to come up a little bit later. So I know which one you watched, you personally.
Do you?
Well, you say you always watch it. You have to watch it.
Yes.
Did you keep your tradition up?
I would say there's a few movies that I...
But what's your number one Christmas movie? Did you keep your tradition up?
Yes.
Okay, good. I know the answer to that.
You do know the answer. Okay.
Yeah. But we did play one game yesterday. Well, they ended up playing more after I left, but the one game we played, so we have nieces that they just turned 12, 13, 12. So a couple nieces. What's great is to have different generations playing this. Chris, remember the game Telephone? Like basically if I told you like a phrase and then you whisper it to that person, it passes along, and then by the end, do you have the same phrase or what changed? How different is it? So we played the same idea, but it was dance telephone. So we played some music. And so if we're all facing the same way, so imagine I'm facing the wall, then Dave, then Chris, and so on and so forth. So if I started with whatever dance, you'd be facing me. I turn around and I do the dance. And then you turn around and tap Dave and you try to mimic what I did and so on and so forth.
Okay.
We had about 10 to 11 of us. And what was great is when we got to my mother-in-law and then some of my nieces and just all the way along. And so where it started to where it finished was nowhere near the same dance. And we flipped the order. I was maybe like third in the first time, but then we did two more, but I was probably third to last. And by the time it came back to me, I'm like, we're doing the same thing each time. How do we end up with this dance each time? And then when you look back at the beginning, because the first person will go again and show you what it was supposed to be. And we're like, we're not even close. Who's screwing this up? So anyway, if you ever get a chance to play dance telephone, it's a fun game. Highly encouraged. Make sure you film it. That's the kind of stuff that can end up on some bloopers out there. While I was gone, several things happened, but one of those things that did happen that absolutely floored me, I just was not ready for it, was the passing of Ricky Henderson, one of my childhood heroes. I never met Ricky Henderson, always wanted to, and he was probably very accessible, seemed to be, and just was stunned by that news. Stunned by, when you admire someone for their abilities, whether it's as a leader, an actor, a singer, their talent, a baseball player, whatever their talents, and growing up playing a lot of baseball, wanting to be a baseball player, I knew I would never be someone like Ricky Henderson. He was so unique. He was kind of one of one, personality-wise, and certainly physically in the way he played. But the amount of times he was traded in and around Oakland, he was everything about Oakland. And it also saddened me in many ways for him, for his fans, for his family, that, the A's leaving Oakland, and there was really no great place to leave a legacy for someone like Ricky Henderson. Now, he left it there, but it feels like that's someone that should always be permanently honored and have a stadium where his statue, number, plaque, all those kind of things can be acknowledged.
Yeah, if they're playing in Vegas, he never played in Vegas.
Yeah, well, and they might carry some of that with it, but that's not the same. That's not the same, and I know that's happened, and that's kind of our sports world. I guess if you look in our rafters and you see some guys that, we're Rochester Royals or Kansas City Kings. I get it, but I don't know. It's the fact that the way they moved, how they, why it happened, and all at the same time that Rickey Henderson passes away, just truly one of the legends of sport, but certainly of baseball. One of one, truly was absolutely blown away and floored by that. So just wanted to say that. And yeah, Campeo, RIP, run Ricky, run. Yeah, the Ricky run to me basically was him getting on first, whether that was walk or base hit, steal, and then a sac fly, ground, or whatever. He's in. There's a Ricky run. He just produced it himself because he got on base, and basically before long he was going to be on third. And what a nightmare for pitchers. So another segment on this, not on this, but of another entity that happened while I was gone, and it's locally here with Sacramento State. They've named themselves a new head football coach, and if you haven't been paying attention, a lot has been going on around that program and with what Coach Marion has done already. We will address that and more before we get to Christmas in the NBA. That straight ahead.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, what's up, Sacramento? It's Kyle Draper. Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and of course, mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Just go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
It's better over here.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling your entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's the year-end sell-a-thon at Folsom Lake Ford. Get last chance year-end savings on your favorite new Ford models. Low payments and even 0% financing with approved credit. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford and tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Lots of Kings conversation coming up. We have Sam Amick joining us at 8, Kelly Brothers at 7:30.
Good at business.
That's right. Still trying to understand. Chris and I are both longtime fans of Saturday Night Live. Coming up in 2025, they've got their 50-year anniversary special. Did you watch any of the Christmas special too? That was
Yes.
on. Yeah, so I recorded that. Watched that.
I was upset they didn't have my favorite Christmas sketch.
What's your favorite Christmas sketch?
It's the one with Hugh Laurie hosting, and it's the Christmas dinner, and they all don't like each other,
and they all lose it. There was a couple in there that I wasn't ready for because it seems like a lot of times they do a bunch of old stuff, but they kind of had it a little bit more current, I would say.
The one that they do every single year, and it's just like,
is it the one with Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah. It's like, was this even funny back then?
Glass. What's funny is we used to recite that one when I was younger, and then now when it's on, I'm like, and I look at it, I go, boy, Aykroyd's he's trying, he's going for it. I'm like, okay. I don't remember laughing out loud at it, but since it was like your reference, it's just like now, it's like, okay, look at this bag of glass. But
just give us more Toonses.
Or they had the here's where I was going with this. I thought the Christmas episode with Martin Short was as good as any episode they've had in a long time. Just phenomenal. But there's a couple of things that Chris just doesn't like, and that episode in particular hit those notes. But then you're not consistent in it because there was one thing that didn't air that you made me watch, which was good. But one of the things you don't like is kind of a repeat process or a repeat sketch-ish.
Well, the one thing, the Five Timers Club,
hate.
It hits two things that I don't like. One is like like me going in to a Saturday Night Live and me saying like, I know they're going to do this. I know they're going to do this. I know they're going to do this. I don't like that because I want it. You're a live show. You should be.
Yeah.
The other thing I don't like is like, hey, we're Saturday Night Live. Look how great we are. Look how amazing we are. Look at all the people we could get because we're Saturday Night Live. We're an institution. Look how great we are.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yet, you also don't like things being repeated. Like if they did a sketch that's pretty good and then they do it again in a different version.
I like here, and then here's the other thing where you're going to say I'm a hypocrite. The one, the one where it was the woman taking the man out, the homeless man out for dinner.
Oh yeah.
And then he turns out to like steal everything from her and everything like that. And then it turned out to be a commercial for Fox News.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that always get me because it's like, what is this? What are they doing? And it'll be like, FedEx.
Right.
Don't let this happen to you.
Okay, but here's one I'm going to test you on. It probably hit on most of the notes, but I thought it was so funny. It was a repeat sketch in a sense, not the exact way, but it's, I don't know any other way to explain it besides the parking spot, and they're kind of doing sign language, but they had a cameo. So that's someone you don't like them using that. So did you like that sketch or not?
It was fine.
Oh,
like I thought the first one was better because
than this because it was the first time.
Yeah,
this one was so good, so good. Anyway, I thought it was a great episode. But yeah, was that the only thing cut from the episode that you sent me, which was good, but that was also a repeat of the year before.
I would say the Ariana Grande episode was better than this one.
Oh man. Okay.
Do we have to get our third person into this?
I would say I think I'm going to win, but I don't know that.
I think you will.
I don't know. That person really liked the Ariana Grande episode more so than I thought they would. By the way, thank you, Campeo, making a good reference. I was talking about what happened while I was gone. I was really floored by the passing of Rickey Henderson. Talking about how Major League Baseball lost some of the greats in 2024. It's so true. Willie Mays, Pete Rose, Rickey Henderson, Orlando Cepeda, Fernando Valenzuela. Man. Another thing, though, that happened while I was gone was Sacramento State hired a new head football coach. And I've had a lot of people reach out to me on my own personal text and or social media, which I appreciate that, asking about my thoughts. Now, here's my initial thought. I never know until I see the coach. But I can tell you, based on the reaction of others, based on what is currently happening, I got to admit I'm pretty excited. Now, the hardest part for me, I'm going to be honest in full candor here. Since 2019, when Troy Taylor came in and did a phenomenal job in turning this program into an area that I never thought it could get to, 3 Big Sky titles, 4 playoff appearances, right into Andy Thompson, and that coaching staff, for the most part, stayed together. So the difficult part for me is knowing that group, knowing these people, knowing some of their spouses and kids, and that becomes the hard part when there are changes. So there are a lot of other changes around the periphery in the program. So that's, to me personally, the hardest part. I've been through it a lot. I've been through a lot of different coaches there. So that's the hardest part. So once you kind of remove yourself from that, then you watch what's going on. I have not met Coach Marion yet, as the Hornets signed Brendan Marion, who was offensive coordinator at UNLV, and by all accounts is fast-tracking his way up the coaching ladder. His go-go offense is highly regarded, something he kind of helped found and create. And I'm excited to see what that'll look like at Sacramento State. And so now he's getting an opportunity to run a program. And so every time there's a new coach that comes in, there's a tweak. There's something they do differently than the previous coaches, some for the better, some for the worse. And so that part, I don't know yet. I'll have to wait and see. But what has happened from the offshoot is an immediate jolt to the program as far as recruiting, transfer portal. It's something that I haven't seen this program do for this effectiveness, this quickly, this impactful. So he brought a couple of players from UNLV. That's understandable. I thought that was going to happen. There's been a few other FBS transfers coming from programs to Sacramento State, junior college guys that he's added, high school players that hadn't committed yet that are now committed to Sacramento State, or others that were changing programs to come to Sacramento State. So something is happening there where he's having a huge influx in the recruiting and made a huge turnaround in that. Now, that is very, very exciting. The part I will caution is it's a little bit like a free agency in the NBA, where if a team added 7 players, the immediate thought is, look at all the action they're doing. Yeah, they're doing a lot of things, but not all the time does that mean that team got better. Now, in this case, I'll say I'm still one of the people that's very excited because there's been an impact. He seems to have people that are buying to what he's selling. And then the end result, obviously, will be the wins and losses on the field, which we're still months away from seeing that happen. But the impact has been made so far, and anxious to meet him. Hopefully we'll have him on the air. I know we will, and see where this program is going. I think those are all exciting things for our community. All right, 7 o'clock hour is coming up. Lots to get to, including yesterday in the NBA, 5 games, including one that I want to highlight the most that might sound very familiar to our Sacramento Kings. I'll explain that next.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco. Lob ball. George went up and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Hey there, Jason Ross here to tell you about my friends at Gonzalez Law. SacLegalDefense.com, 916-304-9187 is the phone number you need to contact them with. Now, we know things have happened. Maybe something happened to you in the past that you can't kind of get away from. Maybe an expungement will help you kind of start a clean path, a new start on life. But other areas you may need representation. Maybe you've been charged with a crime. You've been arrested before. Something that you need someone to represent you. You don't know who to go to. You need some help. Who do I call? Well, again, SacLegalDefense.com, 916-304-9187. Whether it's a wrongful termination case, an auto accident, someone that is local, that is here, that wants to help, and has had a great success rate in the past. In fact, his meticulous case preparation and aggressive attitude have resulted in life-changing results for thousands of clients. And I'm talking about Jonathan Gonzalez and Gonzalez Law. This is the place you need to know. This is the person you need to know. And again, SacLegalDefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-770-2727. 800-770-2727. Paid for by Wesley Financial Group. Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at tryethos.com. That's tryethos.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda. I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Thursday, getting out the door to a few sprinkles here and there, but no major impactful weather for the roads early this morning. Into the afternoon, expect to have cloudy skies, temps in the upper 50s with best rain coming through after sunset into early Friday. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think Happy Honda Days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than during our year-end clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
California, it's the Ford Year-End Sell-A-thon. 14 days of the biggest savings on an incredible selection. So visit your California Ford dealer now through January 2nd and get great offers across the lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs, like the built Ford Tough F-150 truck, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 47 years and counting. For the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport, with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors. And check out the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E, with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. It's the Ford Year-End Sell-A-thon, and it's your chance to save. Whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric, now is the best time to get behind the wheel of your brand-new Ford truck or SUV and drive it home today. But hurry, these offers absolutely end January 2nd. So go to your California Ford dealer today. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-881-4242. 800-881-4242.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back, January 16th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Bring the family and discover your next adventure. Don't miss more than 100 free fishing, hunting, casting, kayaking, and dog training seminars. On the weekend, take the kids to a building filled with free activities. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 16th through 19th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHD 1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, second hour underway here on the day after Christmas, Boxing Day. It's not Chris didn't make it up. It's Boxing Day. Jason Ross, Chris Verlaud. Chris, question for you, which I think is a good one from our YouTubers. Let me see where this goes. Ron, does Verlaud hate the Kate McKinnon's Alone Abduction skit too? That's one of my top 3 all time.
I like the first one. And then like the later ones, it's just like, okay, you guys are just laughing just because.
Yeah. But the good thing I would say about that, it's the same premise every time, but her verbiage, I mean, it's subtly different, but I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, like the first couple ones I thought were really funny, and then it would just go into. Okay.
Where are you on if they break them? I actually enjoy that if it's authentic.
Yeah, because like it felt with those, like the last time that Gosling was on, he laughed in like every sketch. It was just like, okay, dude, this isn't even that funny.
Yeah.
Like it's more of a feel type of thing.
You know who laughs more than I realized?
One of my favorite ones, and the only one is so hilarious is because everyone breaks, is the one at Disney World with
Debbie Downer.
Debbie Downer.
Lindsay Lohan.
Yes.
Yeah, because Rachel Dratch even does, and she's trying to be Debbie. Yeah. I already forgot what I was going to say with that. Oh, no, you know who breaks a little bit more than I thought they would as a cast member now that we both like is Sarah Sherman. She doesn't like totally lose it.
Yeah.
She just kind of
stops herself and then does it
kind of
again.
laughs a lot. But I mean, she's just so fun. I like her a lot. All right, second hour of the show underway. Jason Ross here, Christopher Law. Dave is off the rest of this week and next week, and then we'll be back in full force and better than ever in 2025. Yesterday, we had 5 Christmas Day games. It started with Wemby looking great, but a Knicks win. We had the Timberwolves winning the rematch of the Western Conference Finals, but the Mavs in that game, what was interesting about that, looks like they may have lost Luka for an amount of time here.
Oh, yeah, he's a big boy.
You have that one ready. The 76ers get a quality win in Boston, kind of give you a thought of maybe what Philly can be when everybody is there. You had the Suns winning the final game of the day against the Nuggets. And the fourth game was the Lakers surviving the Curry flurry. A couple of late threes by Steph and a late hoop by Reeves, a triple-double in the game as well. And the Lakers get the win. Couple of things first before I get into that game specifically. No problem with the Christmas Day games. In all honesty, I did spend more time watching football yesterday than basketball, but I did watch some basketball. Look, the schedule's made in August. We don't know exactly how the season's going to go. But where the league is, I would say for the most part, good at is hyping up their stars, right? It was LeBron's, 19th Christmas Day game, something like that. He became the first person ever to score 500 points or more on Christmas. In fact, that's the highest point scored day by anybody in the league, like of any day. So the consistency of him playing on Christmas. We got him and Steph. That's, you want to see that. You had Joker and Durant. Boston and Philly, great traditional rivalry with a lot of star power there. Technically, you had Luka, you had Ant, you had Towns and Wemby, Brunson, lots of stars. What you didn't have was the league's best team, or one of the best teams, I should say. Two of the best teams, Cleveland, which I get it. Maybe not the biggest of draws. OKC. And so I think the league is so concerned with hyping stars, which has been an effective model for the league. But one of their bigger stars didn't play yesterday, and Giannis wasn't around, wasn't playing. Now, Milwaukee, what are we seeing? Milwaukee, smaller market-ish. Cleveland, smaller market-ish, I guess. OKC, smaller market. Thought that was interesting. I mean, they had Boston, they had Philly, they had LA. Didn't have both LAs, but you had LA. You had New York. So it's never going to be perfect. You're never going to get it always right. But I think what was interesting is, by record, the best team in the East didn't play on Christmas. The best team in the West didn't play on Christmas. And one of your biggest stars wasn't involved in a game in the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis. But all in all, I think it was a pretty good day for the league. Now, what I want to say, and where I said there were some similarities to our Sacramento Kings, and I've always thought, the next time the Kings get on Christmas might be in that, now that they have 5 games, might be in that 7:30 window, which is where the Suns were. You've got to have, first of all, you have to have a West Coast team, right, to play at 7:30. So you're down to Portland, Sacramento, Golden State, Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Suns, Kings. Basically, that's your group. Jazz, maybe. Well, Kings are better than the Jazz, not just now, but they've been the last couple of years. Suns and Nuggets, who played last night, make some sense. The Warriors and Lakers, while they have Steph and LeBron, aren't going to be buried at 7:30, which is weird. That's when they normally play, but not on Christmas night. They're going to put that earlier. So then you're looking at Clippers, Blazers. I mean, there's an opportunity if the Kings were to be better to play another day on Christmas, but it's been a long time. They played 2 years in a row back in the 2002-2003 season in LA, And I think the 03-04 season at home, middle of the day, I remember that against the Mavericks. So it's been a while. But the point being, I watched some of the Lakers-Warriors game and was driving back from my in-laws and listened to the great Tim Roy and Tom Tolbert for basically the entirety of the second half. And it's a little bit different when you listen to the radio broadcast, which I always encourage everybody to do. A shameless plug. You'll hear the G-Man tonight, and I'll be on there, and Henry and Deuce and our crew. But you kind of get into, they know the team. They're there every day. They've got their info as opposed to watching the national coverage, and there's nothing wrong with the national coverage. But I'm really getting into the weeds with what's gone on here with the Warriors after a terrific start. Going into that game yesterday, they were 15-13. And the way the game started, Anthony Davis rolled his ankle. And so now the Warriors have an opportunity to maybe control the paint, take advantage of the Lakers without a very good player, maybe their most important player if it's not LeBron, and really do some damage. Now remember, this Warrior team on Friday, November 22nd, after the win against New Orleans, was 12-3. They're now 15-14 after the loss yesterday. So they've gone 3-11. 3-11 with wins against Houston. That's a great win. Wins against Minnesota. That's a good win. And another win against Minnesota. But along the way, losses to San Antonio, Brooklyn, OKC, Phoenix, Denver, Minnesota, Houston, Dallas, Memphis, Indiana, and LA. So listening to them, what they were talking about sounded very, very familiar to me. The Warriors were beginning a stretch here where I believe it's 8 of 9 at home. The first one they had was Indiana, and they lost to the Pacers. Yesterday, an opportunity to take advantage of a injured Laker team, in which they didn't at home, so they lost their first 2 at home. They go to LA to play the Clippers, and then they're back home for Phoenix, Cleveland, Philadelphia, Memphis, Sacramento, and Miami. And kind of the tone of the broadcast and the thought process is, look, this team's in a tough situation here, but with 8 of 9 at home, this is an opportunity to get it right, redirect their season, and kind of find their groove. And I went, well, I've heard that before. I've heard that right here. I think I've said that before about this very team, our Sacramento Kings. So while things aren't going well for the Kings, and I know most people listening here, that's what you care about, and that's probably what you should care about. That's what I care about. And I'm not trying to say because other teams are going through it, misery loves company, but there is some similarities. There are some similarities from some other teams around the league doing the same exact thing that the Kings are doing. It's a bit head-scratching, probably for the Warriors, who when you're 12-3, your first 15 games, not the largest of sample size, but not a small one, you're thinking, do we have a team that can win another title here with Steph? Along this drought, they've made a trade and added Dennis Schroeder. That hasn't netted them the overall results. Still very early, in fairness, give them more time. They've had some confusion on rotations, on playing time, on performance. I'm like, the Warriors are the Kings, just with a little bit of a better record. I mean, just listening to the broadcast, it's all the things that we say, and even at the end, when it looked like the Warriors were definitely going to lose, this was before the last couple of threes by Steph. Tom Tolbert and Tim Roy were kind of lamenting on, missed opportunities. This team just is in a bad way. And then Steph hits the 2 threes, and there's a legit chance they're going to win. It's like, this team is maddening, I think was Tim's phrasing. And it's probably true. Very similar to what we're watching. Probably Warriors organization, Warrior fans think they should be better than 15-14. I don't blame him for thinking that. Kings fans right now know and think they should be better than their record. So they're not alone. There are other teams going through this, but I found it really, really odd. And to listen to the entirety of the radio broadcast, or most of the radio broadcast on the drive home, I thought, man, this sounded very, very familiar to me. We will have the Kings and the Pistons later tonight. We will preview that later in the show. When we come back, though, let's give you 3 questions. We'll give you 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness, and it's next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
I spray and scrub, but the soap scum in my bathtub is still there.
I spray and scrub, but the burnt sauce on my stovetop sticks around.
Sprays can leave grime behind, but Mr. Clean Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser combines the scrubbing power of an eraser with the cleaning power of Dawn to melt away tough messes on contact.
Just wet, squeeze, and erase.
Stop spraying, start erasing, and clean with more magic than ever with Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. 3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, we're about 15 minutes away from our sports business visit with Kelly Brothers.
Good business.
And then coming up 45 minutes from our Thursday at 8 appearance with the great Sam Amick.
I know I'm shamelessly pumping the poll here.
Wow, Sam. Okay. But it is that time. 3 for Madness, 3 questions, 3 answers. Christopher Laud, question number 1.
Thumbs up or thumbs down on Beyonce's halftime show?
I saw a lot of people, again, social media, got to weigh in. Everybody's got to have their voice heard. Let me tell you, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. Well, it was neither for me. But if the choices are thumbs up or thumbs down, thumbs up. I was entertained. Thought she put on a good show. I didn't know all the songs. I knew one of her songs. I know this is I think most of it was from her country, kind of more of her country album, but entertained. She's a great entertainer. The spectacle, lots to look at. I don't know. I thought it was thumbs up or thumbs down. I'll give it a thumbs up. Did you see it at all?
I did not.
Okay. How much do you care in general about, more so the Super Bowl halftime show is a bigger deal, but
it depends.
Yeah. I mean, it's never to the point where I don't know if they could ever say there was an artist where I go, I'm not watching. Because I think if there was someone that gave me that kind of reaction, I'm like, I probably got to watch. Because I'm that bothered by it.
If it's the Super Bowl, they're doing a good job of getting someone that's not going to do that for a bunch of people.
But there are some people like, it's more of the get off my lawn, like, I don't know what this music is. It's like, okay, well, it'll be over in 12 minutes, 14 minutes. I mean, you'll get back to the game. You'll be okay. I mean, that ruined the game. Okay, relax. Or it was the best thing in the game. Maybe, sometimes. That game was terrible yesterday. That was the Texans and Ravens. I don't know if I'd say it was the best thing in the game, but if the choices are thumbs up or thumbs down, I like Beyonce. I'll give it a thumbs up. I was entertained, all in white, and just put on quite a show. It was entertaining.
Plus, nothing's ever going to beat Prince.
That's your benchmark?
Yep.
Who was it this year? Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah.
That'll be great. And a lot of it's the the cameos, who else comes in to me but I mean, for the most part, halftime shows always entertain me. I mean, I don't know. It's like, okay, that was cool. Oh, I'm glad they sang that song. Who was it last year?
It was
Usher? Yeah.
Yes.
When he's out there roller skating, I'm like, oh my gosh, or rollerblading. I'm like, that's pretty talented. And I mean, I don't know.
I'm trying to remember, like, if I never. Well, plus there's always something that, especially with social media, that everyone jumps on, like the shark dancer.
Oh yeah,
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry. I remember. I didn't know a lot of Lady Gaga's catalog, but I was like, it was fine. I mean, again, I don't remember going, gosh, I couldn't. I wasted my
Madonna
time.
was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just these are like, and sometimes who was it? Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. I think, and like a lot of people are googling how old are they? They're both like 50, and I'm like, man, or close to 50, and they're just amount of effort and dancing. I'm like, that's pretty impressive. So anyway, thumbs up for me on Beyonce. Question 2.
Question 2.
Did you spend more time watching the NFL, NBA, or other on Christmas?
The totality, and this is again back to just this is this, first world problems, the smallest of pet peeves I have for anything that's on Netflix, Peacock, Amazon, something where you have to go to one of your subscriptions. Kind of once you get to it, I stick with it. So the family had football on, and the Netflix games were back to back. So once we started, and my brother-in-law is a huge Steelers fan, so I'm watching with him. So we had Steelers Chiefs on, then we went right into Ravens Texans. So I would say the answer to the question is I spent way more time watching football. We then put the Warriors game on, and like I said, I left before halftime on that and then listened to the rest of the first half and all the second half on my drive home. But for me, yeah, way more time watching the NFL. I think that's all we had on yesterday was NFL into the NBA. Yeah, I don't think we watched anything else. But Chris, how about your household? What was
football?
Football?
Yeah.
I mean, and you're like me, like you're not necessarily a Chiefs or Steelers fan or Ravens or did that have any fantasy implications for you? Or you checked out?
I did a prize pick, lost it, so
you did. Were you close?
No. Probably shouldn't have had all those Texans.
Oh, they killed you. But do you feel the same way? Like, again, it's not the biggest deal, but that's my pet peeve I have on Amazon or Peacock or Netflix. It's just more difficult to change around once you get there, right? Like you couldn't go, oh, the NBA games, or you could, and switch to, let me watch the end of the NBA game and then flip back. Is it possible? Of course. It's just kind of a pain. So I've never liked that part. That's the part that's bothered me. All right, question number 3.
Question 3.
How many Christmas movies did you watch this year?
Well, none on Christmas. I'm trying to think around Christmas. I mean, over the last week or so. My wife's always going to watch a couple Hallmark movies, and I'm kind of, accidentally in the room and watching some of that.
Do you know what I watch? No, it wasn't Christmas. I don't think so. It was I don't know if it was Lifetime or Hallmark, but the one based off of Travis Kelce. And
oh yeah,
Taylor
she
Swift.
recorded that one. So I saw that. I'm like, oh, it's on the DVR.
The best part of it, especially if you're a sports fan, is he's like really working hard to he's really working hard so he could get his next contract with the team. His brother is the quarterback, and like everyone says he's the best one of the two brothers.
Okay.
But also he has the most receiving yards, most touchdowns, and is a 9-time MVP.
In the Hallmark one, and he's quote Kelsey. Yeah. Is Taylor Swift a part?
Well, he's
of it
a wide receiver in the movie. But the idea of someone that's a 9-time MVP leads the league in
and the brother's better
yards and touchdowns. The brother's better, and on top of that, I don't know if I'm going to get my contract this year.
Tough times for the 9-time MVP. Is the love interest a famous is it Taylor Swift or is it not on her? I know it's not her.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Taylor Swift.
So somebody famous.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but I have a feeling I'm going to be watching that soon. We had a couple different Christmas movies that were on over different times. Probably 3, 4, 5. I don't know. Did you watch? I know you watched your favorite, right? Did you watch the Muppet Christmas Carol?
Yes.
Okay.
Multiple times.
Multiple times.
Well, I generally always watch it once the night of Thanksgiving, like after everything's done.
That's right.
Then Christmas Eve, and like I'll scatter it around here and there.
What was great is I meant to send you the text. Someone was talking about Christmas movies and Die Hard, that whole thing. But someone said, watch this, and without a doubt, don't let anyone fool you. The best Christmas movie is A Muppet Christmas Carol. I'm like, I got to send this to Chris, and I totally forgot who sent it or who posted it, but someone on social media did that.
Yeah.
You watch any others?
So I made my list here. These are the ones that I remembered that I specifically watched. How many do you think I watched?
8.
All right. Let me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Wow. Okay. Are you going to say what they are?
Okay. Muppet Christmas Carol. Obviously, we already said that. Scrooged. Love Scrooged. Okay. That's like a must watch.
Okay. Of your 9, do you think I saw any of them?
This year or of all time?
No, this year.
I'm guessing you saw 1 or 2.
Okay. And I'm going to do all time as well.
You haven't seen Scrooged?
I haven't seen the first 2.
No, Scrooged.
I haven't seen the first 2 you said.
Oh, the first 2 I said.
Muppet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Jingle All the Way.
Okay. That's 3. Over 3.
Krampus.
Over 4.
Jack Frost, which is it's just a
5.
dumb.
Is that Michael Keaton?
No, there's 2 different ones. So there's the Michael Keaton one, and then there's a horror movie one.
Okay.
Home Alone 1 and 2.
Okay.
Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
Die Hard. Did I say Krampus?
You did.
Okay.
You watched all those this year.
Yes.
Okay. And I've seen Christmas Vacation. I've seen Home Alone 1. I don't think I've seen all of Home Alone 2.
Wow.
Didn't watch
You've probably seen all of it just in like sections.
Yeah.
Right?
And then Christmas Vacation, I would say I didn't watch it this year from start to finish, but it was on so many, let me watch this part. I don't feel like I watched it, but I saw it probably 12 times during the different, I know I ended up seeing, like I said, a couple Hallmark movies. We watched, I know I was kind of in the room for a little while when Rudolph was on, like the old school Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer one. It's a Wonderful Life.
I've never seen that.
Love Actually, which I don't think you've seen.
Nope.
This Christmas is good. I saw that.
I mean, this Christmas was fine, but
yeah. I think that's it.
Man, lacking. You have to see Scrooged.
You know what? I know I say I didn't see it in the theater. I feel like I know I've seen parts of that movie with Bill Murray, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But not from start to finish, I don't think.
Like that might be like top 10 movie of all time.
Really?
For me. Yeah.
Okay. My kids say Christmas Chronicles is the best.
I've never heard of it.
I haven't either. Okay. We'll have to check it out. There you go. There's a look back on.
Also, how do you feel about watching Christmas movies? When do you stop watching them? Do you stop watching
I'm not
them?
done with Christmas, so I got a good week or so to go.
Oh, then you have to see Scrooged in a week.
So many things I've got to do.
So many activities.
When we come back, Sports Business with Kelly Brothers. I think, though we have not received a text, it's the day after Christmas. We may not have Kelly Brothers. We'll find out. We'll let you know when we come back next.
Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hey there, Jason Ross here to tell you about my friends at Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Branding. You know how important that is and why I've been telling you about the red ribbon logo. That's what this company has. That's what it provides. That's what you should be looking for when I'm talking about the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Others have tried to compare to them, but they are just, imitation is the finest form of flattery. They're at the top of their game, and if you're looking for a fresh look to your home with new garage doors or a quick repair to your existing doors, Overhead Door Company of Sacramento is where you need to go. So that question, how does your home look? Are you satisfied with it, with that front-facing look for your house? Well, one way you can improve your home with significant boost is with brand new doors from Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Replacing your old garage door or doors for a new garage door is the greatest return of investment homeowners they can ever make on doing home improvements. But when you work with Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, you're also connected with a family-owned and operated company that's been thriving in our area for over 70-plus years. They're great people over there, and they've been serving Sacramento and 9 counties surrounding our city. And they've got a deal for you as well. Mention me, Jason Ross, or Sacktown Sports, and you'll receive $100 off your new garage door paired with a new garage door opener. So make your house pop. Feel good about your new garage door. And, they do residential. They do commercial as well. Even repairs to your existing doors. Check out their website at ohdsac.com or call them at 916-421-3747. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. The genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Thursday, getting out the door to a few sprinkles here and there, but no major impactful weather for the roads early this morning. Into the afternoon, expect to have cloudy skies, temps in the upper 50s with best rain coming through after sunset into early Friday. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think Happy Honda Days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than during our year-end clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Ginger.
Toyotathon is on. Yes, Toyotathon. You've seen the memes. Now it's your chance to celebrate. Score a low-cost lease on the versatile RAV4 after $1,000 lease cash. Or take home the spacious 36 MPG Grand Highlander Hybrid. Or check out the all-new 38 MPG Toyota Crown Signia. Get in on the best deals of the year. But hurry, because Toyotathon ends soon. Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Ends 1/6/25.
Seasons change, but if you hope to stay healthy, your body needs to stay active year-round, whether that's in the gym or on the trail or at work. And that's where the Good Feet store can help. Good Feet's personalized arch support system supports all 4 arches, relieving pain in your feet, knees, hips, and back. And Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Visit goodfeet.com for an appointment or stop in for a free fitting. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Jason Ross, Christopher Laud, Sam Amick joining us at 8 o'clock. Couple of texts coming in. I was asking for a little roll call, seeing what you guys are up to. Do you have to work today? Good morning, y'all. I took this week and next week off, just catching up on house stuff and relaxing. It should be a legal Christmas on Wednesday. I would just like a Kings comfortable win tonight. Please have a great day, Esteban. Well, you too, Esteban. Thank you. Palace from Lincoln. They gave us the option to come in today. I'm headed to build a bridge in the rain, boys. Thanks for being on. Happy holidays. Wow.
Bridge builder.
You do some real work. Back to work at 3 a.m. today. Volunteered for overtime today, tomorrow, and Monday months ago. Really regretting it now. David in Walnut Creek.
Isn't that one of those things of, you're like, oh, if I do that when someone asks you at work, like, hey, would you be able to do this? That's going to be like a bigger check. Like, oh, man, that'll be super easy. And then when the time comes, it's like, why did I even agree to this?
Yeah. Did you have to, you said your job when the family's making tamales is you're kind of the runner. You get the supplies and you make the drinks while everybody works.
Here's the thing, too, is we've been doing this my entire life.
Yeah.
And more than my entire life.
So you got it down.
Yeah. But You'd say we got it down. There's almost always a, hey, you need to go grab more masa. Hey, we need more of the hojas. Hey, we need some more jalapenos.
It's so amazing that, look, everybody's family, whatever, like we've cooked for big meals for forever. And on Christmas Eve, I went to the store just once, but that was the big trip. There was 1, 2, 3 other trips to the store that I was not involved in. And then yesterday, it's Christmas, and they go, you know what we need? And I ran to the store. I'm like, are they going to? And we checked. They were open. I'm like, okay. And then the people there are like, oh, Merry Christmas. I go, oh, man, sorry you had to work. No, I chose to. All right. Good for you. I hope you're getting, and I'm assuming they're getting time and a half.
Grocery stores, you get it pretty good.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe if you're part of the union, I think you get something close to triple time.
Ooh. And I don't think they're open as long. I don't know. I mean, I went in.
Usually you get it's usually morning and early afternoon.
Yeah, maybe close that thing by 3 or 4, give everybody a chance to get home. And
the thing I don't like is when places like Target are open or regular stores. Are you really doing this to your employees?
Well, here was the one that blew me away. So we had our dinner. I mean, we ate early, and it early enough to where I know I left, but some ate again. You know, that kind of thing. I think we probably ate at, I don't know, it was 2:30 or 3 maybe was our bigger meal. So kind of the perfect time. Like if I didn't have to get up so early, I would have stayed, and they probably ate something else at, just give me a little more mac and cheese or a little of something at 7:30 or 8. But my nieces left and my nephew, I'm like, where are they going? They're like, oh, they're going to get frozen yogurt. I'm like,
what?
Today? I go, it can't be open. They go, no, they checked. They go, it's open today? Like a little small thing like that. And they left. I went, okay. I mean, we had all these pies and other desserts. I'm like, to each their own. They want that. Go have fun.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. You're bothering me. All right. Tonight. Primitive duality. No.
Psychological duality.
The Kings will be back in action. They're going to be taking on the Detroit Pistons. And want to spend the next couple segments before we get to Sam on the Sacramento Kings as my first chance here in a while to talk about it. And I know Dave shared a lot of thoughts, and I saw a lot of social media opinions and thoughts. And certainly, look, this is a opportunity for everybody to weigh in. So if you have thoughts on what you think about the Kings right now, what you would like to see done, certainly our YouTube chat, you guys have your forum there. Our text line, 916-339-1140. If you'd like to call in as well at 916-339-1140 or 1-800-920-1140. So here's what I think about the Kings right now after 30 games. There's kind of a good, there's a bad, and there's certainly the ugly. I think there's no doubt about that. I guess I will start just because of not the alliteration, but the movie title, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. I will start with the good. Now, this list is shorter, as it should be. And here's the part of the puzzle that is a little bit troubling. No, not troubling, confusing for me. The good is this. The numbers. The metrics. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me for a team that's 13-17 to have some of the statistics that they have. Now, the game is not strictly statistics. I get that. But I am also trying to make a point here with good, bad, and the ugly. So the good, let me see where the Kings are right now in points per game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now they've slipped to 10, but they're a top 10 offense. That's pretty good. It's not historically great that they were 2 years ago when they were number 1, and not last year where they were living in that 15 range. Defensively, they've slipped just a little bit here recently, but they're 17th. And remember the year when they were number 1, we're like, man, imagine if they could just be a top 22 defense. Until a few games ago, they were actually in the top 13. So let's just leave it where they are, 10-17. I told you before the year, at 30 games, the Kings would have the 10th rated offense and the 17th rated defense. I don't believe that most of you would have thought they'd be currently the 12th seed. So For there to be a turnaround, there are some, and I've said this already this year, and it hasn't completely happened, there are some breadcrumbs that show you it is kind of within them, kind of, with a cautionary tale. 13 and 17. Metrics suggest a better team than this. Another thing that a lot of people look at, and as you go on throughout the year, it kind of tells you a little bit more about a team, point differential. And the top 5 teams in the West have the 5 best point differentials. That makes sense. You win more than you lose, you're going to have a better point differential. The 6th team is the Lakers, and they're actually minus 2.5. That's a bit of an outlier. The next team, the Clippers, plus 2 points per game. The next team is Phoenix. They're in the negative. The last 2 teams in the top 10 that would be playoff teams today or play-in teams are in the positive. And then there's only one other team in the positive, and it's the Kings. So that's even coming off this last game where they just got housed by the Pacers. So they're involved in a lot of close games. Now, again, I'm labeling that part as the good. The metrics, some of the, the offense defensive numbers, the ratings, the point differential, and the one last thing I will label in the good category for the Kings is the fact that there's become some separation in the West. And I think this is a good thing for the Kings. I had said before the year, look, if everything goes right, I think this team could be the 1 seed. If everything goes wrong, they could be 12 or 13. I wouldn't say everything's gone wrong, but here they are at 12. And the 1 seed, that feels like that's long gone. I mean, OKC starting to get some serious separation. Houston, Memphis even starting to pull away from the pack. Maybe even Dallas, but now some concerns with Luka's injury. But from Denver down, the door's open. And I just talked about the Warriors, last segment, where they were 12 and 3, and now they're 15 and 14. The Lakers were off to a better start. The Suns haven't found their groove. There's a bunch of teams that are playing like the Kings, but maybe if the Kings are at a 2, they're at a 3, like slightly better. So I'm going to label that part the last part of the good. The metrics, the point differential, and probably 5 through 12, the door is wide open for the Sacramento Kings. That's the good. We still have to get to the bad and the ugly. That list is much longer. We'll attack that next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. And get this, Napoleon Grill's Black Friday Cyber Mondays include a limited time $300 off their top-selling Phantom Grill and 15% off all gas, kettle, and travel grills. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last. Complete with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Whitey and Napoleon Grills wish you happy holidays. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
California, it's the Ford Year-End Sell-a-thon. 14 days of the biggest savings on an incredible selection. So visit your California Ford dealer now through January 2nd and get great offers across the lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs, like the built Ford Tough F-150 truck, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 47 years and counting. Or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors. And check out the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. It's the Ford Year-End Sell-a-thon, and it's your chance to save. Whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric, now is the best time to get behind the wheel of your brand-new Ford truck or SUV and drive it home today. But hurry, these offers absolutely end January 2nd, so go to your California Ford dealer today. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
Here comes Floyd, throw over the middle, intercepted! by Fred Warner.
Faithful to the Bay.
Fred gets up and runs back the other way, 30.
Be there December 30th for Monday Night Football at Levi Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers face the Detroit Lions.
20, one block and he's in.
It's the final regular season home game of the campaign and presented by SAP.
Touchdown!
Tickets are available now. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets.
San Francisco!
You've heard the saying, penny wise, pound foolish, right? It means you do something that will save you a little bit right now, just pennies, but that ends up costing you pounds in the end.
People put off tuning up their furnace because they don't want to take the time or spend the money to get it done.
But it only takes 90 minutes and costs just $87, which is just pennies compared to the huge problems and expenses that can rack up if you don't get your furnace tuned up.
You'll also save money on your energy bills, and your system will last longer.
So don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Call Bell Brothers for a precision tune-up and professional cleaning today.
Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Where do you go when you need someone to represent you? For me, you want someone that is local and that you can actually get to and talk with. There are plenty of big branded lawyers out there with the name, but you never get to talk to them. So go to saclegaldefense.com and connect with the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. He's local, he'll represent you, and he'll have your back. Whether it's expungements, wrongful termination, when you're in a spot when you need legal help, call the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at 916-304-9187.
The year-end sell-a-thon is on at Folsom Lake Ford. Get massive last-chance discounts on your favorite new Ford. Zero-down deals and low finance rates on approval of credit. Shop Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall and tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
I think this is a compliment, Chris. Hungover on my way to work, J. Ross and Chris talking is like ibuprofen. The Kings' schedule only gets harder. No more playing Utah with a frowny face on the text line. Yeah, I gave you the good so far. There's still the bad and the ugly about the Kings at 30. Before I weigh in more on that, and again, Sam Amick joining us in about 15 minutes. Let's check in with Ashley. Ashley, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I just had a quick thought on the Kings, and that would be, thinking about it with how the Kings have been playing. I know that we need more length and all that. And in order to get that, we would need to make a trade. Until then, what was your thoughts on bringing DeMar off the bench and having a unit for Fox and some of our players who can run a little bit more, who won't slow things down, and then having a second unit where it's DeMar and maybe Monk or Herder or something like that, where we can get a little bit of that bench scoring that we need.
Yeah, who would you, just out of curiosity, Ashley, who would you think about putting in for DeMar?
I would be putting in Keon Ellis, honestly. I'd probably go with Monk off the bench as well and put in Herder, but I'd be fine keeping Monk as a starter. But then that way we get 40 points-ish off the bench nightly, while also getting the energy and the hustle and the running of Fox and the rest of the team.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, look, at this point, and thank you, Ashley, not a bad idea, because Mike Brown's even said it. Look, he's searching. He's trying to find something, and that's going to kind of lead into my next part of the Kings at 30 of the good, the bad, and the ugly. I gave you a list of the good. The list wasn't that long, but doing a little stretching for that. Now the bad for that, and it kind of, dovetails off Ashley's call. Part of the bad to me are the rotations. I'm really confused by them, by Coach Brown. And I think it's so important to know your role. And to have the best chance as a bench player to be successful, I think you have to be about as clear as possible of what your role is. And so I think if we had Keon Ellis in studio right here, and I asked Keon, what do you think your role is? And to me, if I'm thinking about Keon, I'm thinking his role is an efficient scorer on the perimeter, an elite defender, and whether that's as a starter or as a sub, but someone that's in the rotation. That's what I believe he would say. I'm not seeing that enough from him, not because of him, but because of the minutes that are allocated to him. He has to play more. I mean, I think Keon's a non-negotiable. Like, again, they didn't lose by whatever they did the other day to the Pacers because Keon didn't play till late, but he would have helped. And I'm okay with the starting lineup. I did like the move to move Malik Monk into the starting lineup, though Malik hasn't played as well lately. Neither has DeRozan. If they're going to tweak that lineup again, they can. But I think the bottom line is if they keep starting Sabonis, DeRozan, Murray, Monk, and Fox, the obvious statement is they got to play better. But I think to give them the best chance to play better, I think that by and large, that starting lineup's been one of the best parts this team has had so far. But I think you have to play Ellis. I think you have to play Lyles. That's 7 without a doubt. And then I think you can kind of sprinkle in what else you're going to do. But I think again, there's so many confusing things that have happened, and this isn't an exclusive to this year. Like Jay Crowder starts without practicing on the team for a couple games, and now can't see the light of day on the floor. Again, I'm not suggesting that he should be the guy on the floor. I'm suggesting that's weird. Let's take another example. McDermott, in, out of the rotation. Alex Len, in, out. Isaac Jones, kind of the same. McLaughlin. I think to have a consistent bench, you need to have a consistent rotation. I think it's that simple. And, there could be some tweaking on the edges. You don't have to play 12 guys. You don't have to play 11 guys. But stick to kind of a group. Let them, and not just for a game or two. I think there's got to be some consistency here, much like the starters get plenty long of a leash. And I'm okay with that. But I think that's been part of the bad for this team. And then the ugly, well, some of the obvious things that are happening right now, the home record, I mean, that's brutal. And this has been a constant thing that has happened with this team for a while. Like, this should be a stretch here of all these games at home where they really could have turned their season around, and they have not, losing the first 4, much like I told you the parallels of listening to that Warrior game yesterday, if you heard earlier in the show. But losing 4 in a row, dropping to 4 games below 500. The poor shooting that has plagued this team now of the 30 games, probably, I don't know if it's as many as 20, but it feels like it. And I would say they have had like 1 or 2 of those games where you go, wow, they shot lights out. Hit 23s. They would have beat anybody tonight. That probably happens 5 to 6 times a year for teams. That's barely happened for this squad. And I think the other part of the ugly, and this one is the one that surprised me the most of everything, is the amount of close losses that they've had. I think, what's the record now? 3-10 in games decided by 5 points or less. I mean, that's an absolute killer. They're 13-17. If they had 4 more wins, they'd be 17-13, right? They'd be 7-6 in close games decided by 5 points or less. And we'd probably still be looking at that going, man, imagine what they could be if they were a little bit better in these close games. But 3-10 is awful. In fact, it's one of the worst in the league. And if they were 17-13 right now, flipping those around, they'd be in a tie for 5th. But they're not. So I'm not in the panic mode. That's not the right phrasing. But there's got to be a redirection here. And barring any kind of trade, I guess firing of some sort, I think the quickest fix is to settle in on a certain rotation on the bench, lock in on these starters that they've got, and that group just has to be better. I will say this, in the second Laker game and the first half of the Pacers game, they did play with a sense of urgency. There were guys diving on the floor. Like, it looked like it bothered them. Looked like they were committed. Now, they didn't get the results they wanted, but that's what we needed to see. And then when it fell apart on them in Indiana, they just completely let go of the rope in that game. Now, for those who say they lost the locker room, it's done. I mean, that it looked like it that day. You got to keep watching, keep playing. I think they're still in it. I still believe they think they're a good team, but it's on them to prove it. We could say all this. I could say all this, good, bad, ugly. It's up to them. And the problem with the schedule getting more difficult, like our texter said, they could start playing better and still lose to some of these teams. Detroit's a good team. They're not great. They're a good team, though. And so Sacramento's got to figure it out. In fact, they got the same record. So, like, you're thinking, oh, they'll beat the Pistons. Why? They might, but why? That game's not given to them. No games are given to this team. So they got to earn it. They're the only ones that can fix it. And we'll see if they can do that tonight. We'll talk more about these issues with the great Sam Amick. He joins us next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-414-4420 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-414-4420 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-414-4420 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Thursday, getting out the door to a few sprinkles here and there, but no major impactful weather for the roads early this morning. Into the afternoon, expect to have cloudy skies, temps in the upper 50s with best rain coming through after sunset into early Friday. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
When it's cold and rainy outside, Bonnie is leading the way home. Right now, stay warm and cozy with a full furnace tune-up, just $59. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Schedule an appointment today at Bonnie.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave coming to you from a good friends at American Energy. Look, it's already cold outside. It's only going to get colder. American Energy wants to help you stay warm and make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of the $49 tune-up inspection. Normally $119, $49 right now, and that includes a full safety and duct inspection. And check it out. If your system's over 10 years old, and I'll bet it is, the tune-up, yeah, it's free. It's free from a company that's been in business since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ Better Business Bureau. Check their Yelp, check their Google reviews. Don't take my word for it. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. If you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Check them out at theaeway.com and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. Let's explain. Happy is a good thing. We all like happy. Honda stands for quality, reliability, comfort, design, peace of mind, value at resale, and a lot more feel-good words. Days is how long you have left to take advantage of Elk Grove Honda's year-end clearance underway right now. Elk Grove Honda is located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or visit us at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right. Sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back, January 16th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Find a huge selection of fishing boats, kayaks, and side-by-sides. New this time, nearly 50,000 square feet of RVs and campers. And check out the all-new, fully redesigned Toyota Land Cruiser. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 16th through 19th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, we start the 8 o'clock hour here. Hopefully everybody had a good Christmas, as it's time for the Sam Amick Show, being brought to you by all your Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. There he is, ready to roll this morning. Good morning, Sam Amick.
Good morning, Jay. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Hope you guys had a good one, my friend.
We did. How about you? Is everything good with you?
Yeah, no complaints. Got a little bit of holiday fatigue, where you're having a good time and trying to sneak in sleep between driving around and watching a few games. But yeah, we had a very good one.
Is there an Amick tradition that's unique to your family on Christmas or anything like that?
I mean, we're certainly on my side of the family, a Christmas Eve family in terms of the tradition. My late mother was a big Christmas Eve fan. She used to host every single year. And so shout out to my sister Kelly, who busted out Mom's old eggnog, which is very stiff. With my other sister Kim and our families. So the eggnog was a Christmas Eve highlight, and then just getting the kids together on Christmas Day and seeing everybody getting bigger was a very good time.
I know in your line of work, or all of ours, you're constantly working. Was yesterday observing the NBA games, or were you kind of working partly, or just it's all kind of future notes for future articles?
Yeah, it's funny. I don't mind admitting my favorite part, or one of my favorite parts, probably shouldn't say my favorite, but of this job, I've had previous jobs where it was just a absolute non-negotiable part of the job to be at a Christmas Day game. And as much as I have enjoyed some of those games in person, I've kind of, with this gig at the Athletic, where we have a deep staff and a lot of folks at games, I kind of sneak away on Christmas Day a little bit, and I'm watching the action. So the fun part was, like yesterday morning before we really got going, it's kind of a lazy sitting on the couch with my youngest son watching Knicks Spurs, and and kind of putting your fan hat on a little bit where you're going,
Mhm.
man, what a game, and he's like a lot of people so fascinated by Wemby and seeing what Wemby's doing out there, and then Mikal Bridges going crazy. So, you're watching it because it's part of the gig, but it was probably a little closer to the casual fan experience than normal.
I was saying this earlier, Sam, and it feels like I'm nitpicking a little bit on the league because they make these schedules in August, but the two best teams in the league, one in the East, one in the West, OKC and Cleveland, smaller markets, but they weren't on. Giannis is one of the stars of the league. He wasn't on, but look, it still was stacked with high level players and teams and some pretty good games yesterday too.
Yeah, I mean, that first one was tremendous. They're going to get Wemby in the spotlight, so that makes sense. They're going to have the Knicks in the spotlight. Agree or disagree, that is typically the case. And then, you go down the line, of course, they're going to have LeBron and Steph. I mean, if you had to, nitpick, I think, like you said, maybe Dallas, Minnesota is, there's plenty of stars in that game.
Yeah.
But as far as like which teams, quote unquote, earned the spot, but it's hard. They can't handicap. They could handicap that OKC would be what they are.
Yeah.
It's probably not as much Cleveland to that degree. And then the Milwaukee thing, I get Giannis's point. He's actually been pretty vocal publicly about how he thought it was, disrespectful to not have the Bucks in there. But what also strikes me, Jay, is it's funny. Like, people in my life who see me watching games on Christmas Day, I always hear this comment of like, "Oh man, the players got to play on Christmas Day. Like, what about their families?" And I always find it so interesting. Like, players really care. You know what I mean? Like, they want to play on Christmas Day, and you see, forget about the money they make for a minute. Like, I looked at social media today, and LeBron's wife Savannah on her Instagram account had a video of Savannah with Bryce and Zuri dancing in their pajamas. I don't know if it was Christmas Eve or Christmas, but they were, what appeared to be celebrating the holiday while LeBron and Bronny were working. You know what I mean? And it was kind of fascinating and relatable, where you can see them having a good time, while dad and his son were away doing their thing. So just a few of my takeaways from yesterday.
I want to start you. Well, not start you. We've already gotten going here, but go with the Kings here, Sam. With they're in a bad way right now. There's no denying that. Lots of rumors, speculation, all that kind of stuff out there. How broken after 30 games right now would you say the Kings are?
I mean, I can't speak for them. They appear pretty broken. I think it's 11 out of 16. The stuff that you see that is somewhat, alarm bell-ish is in the last game, for example. I think I've told you before how I know it's a funny little habit, but how I have binoculars at games where I enjoy kind of taking a peek at body language and how so-and-so reacting to, positive or negative. Because the media seats are a little farther than back in the old days, it's a way to get closer to the action. And it's like, man, they, in the Pacers game, when they were down late, they call a timeout, and you just look at the huddle, and Mike Brown and his staff were about 20 feet away game planning before rejoining the huddle. And you're looking in the huddle going, man, nobody's saying a word. Like, it's just dead silence. Guys are just seemingly down and defeated, and the leadership and that, at least, and it's probably not fair. It's a snapshot, but that's the type of stuff that makes you go, all right, how do they pull out of this? Because, it seems like Mike Brown has shared a few comments publicly, in my opinion, what appears to be, nudging and pushing De'Aaron in the leadership category, where he's kind of highlighted the fact that he's played well, but we need more. And that's part of his messaging. Sabonis certainly is part of that leadership group. Malik Monk as well. I don't know how they get out of it, because you talk to scouts from other teams that were at the game, and one guy in particular, I thought was interesting because his non-emotional response as an objective party to the Kings was just like, man, they're a good team. Like, he kind of was saying, like, you just got to ride it out. There's a lot of parity in the West and in the league in general. And he had a very pragmatic look at it, where he thought they were still a good team and that they could rattle off 5, 6, 7 in a row and be fine. But man, that was, such a contrast to the mood and the perspective, I think, both on the team and locally.
Yeah, that's why. I was saying this earlier, Sam. They're a bit of a puzzle to me, and I don't think people would be that bothered, besides being fans of the team, if they were 13-17, if people didn't believe that they were a good team or could be a good team. I don't think they had false expectations. No one was talking about a championship, but I think being a top 6 wasn't a crazy thought. So they're not there now. They haven't played like that. They haven't looked like that. And then some of their metrics show, a top 17 defense, a top 10 offense. It's not really adding up, and I'm not exactly sure why. That's I think, to me, from watching him play, they look like a 13-17 team, but some of the statistics and some of the metrics and even the talent level doesn't seem like they're a 13-17 team.
Yeah, I agree. One thing that I'll spotlight and highlight here that is definitely an issue, because you hit on all the team-wide metrics that are encouraging. And, when we wrote our story last week about De'Aaron and his situation, we highlighted a lot of this and the reasons for kind of a glasses half full perspective. I will say the thing that right now would worry me if I was the Kings and Mike Brown, and the whole group, is I'm looking and cheating here at DeMar DeRozan's game log.
Yeah.
And, you're talking about a 4-game stretch where, I'm doing the rough math. He's averaging probably around 10, 11 points a game, a high of 17, a low of 2 in that Pacers game. That Pacers game was weird to watch. Like, to see him only take 7 shots, and the crunch time stuff that you alluded to, because, they're a good team. And then you get down the stretch where the idea was, man, you got De'Aaron Fox and DeMar DeRozan. Those are 2 guys that are in the running for the Jerry West Clutch Award every single year. But sometimes too much of a good thing is too much. And they've had a hard time figuring out how to close. And in the Pacers game again, it's, man, like watching De'Aaron down the stretch. And I told someone this, and I could be wrong. I'm probably trying to be a sports psychologist here, but like watching him be seemingly hesitant on a couple of possessions. He almost lost the ball late, was a little sloppy with it, and then had a floater in the lane that was just short. And to me, if you're him, what has changed from this year compared to last year and previous years is in that crunch time, kind of spot, you knew all the energy in the room was coming your way. You're the guy. It's just all there is to it. And it seems like they're having a harder time not only figuring out who's going to close shot wise, but I think, it's just the type of thing that it might impact the energy or the way you think in that moment. And De'Aaron, has just not been as good. And obviously DeMar hasn't as well. So like some real issues that I think are there right now. The crowd chanting Keon Ellis late because they want to see Keon, which kind of speaks to a couple of things, but the defensive side continuing to be an issue and people looking at Keon as a guy that could help there, even though that might be debatable given how he's played this year. So, again, they're in a bad spot, and we'll see what they do.
And then the bigger picture, I know you wrote about it last week, you and Anthony Slater from The Athletic, about kind of De'Aaron and his future. And I think that was a good point you brought up earlier, Sam. And I agree with you that Mike Brown's kind of gone out of his way to highlight De'Aaron, to nudge De'Aaron, to say, look, he could be great. We need a player like him to go from the beginning, to lead, all that stuff. There's just I feel like everything is on De'Aaron right now. Not that he's not capable of carrying the team, but just him and his future. How much of what they're going through right now do you think is impacting what his future decision will be?
I don't know. Some of his teammates were asked about the situation after the last game. Admittedly, it did crack me up a little bit that, like, not to sound jaded, but sometimes we tiptoe around these stories as if there's just, we're talking about global affairs. You know what I mean? And so there were these questions in the press conference from some local media friends of ours that were like, how are you guys handling the noise? And it's like, well, it is what it is. De'Aaron's agent came to town and had a meeting with Monty McNair and Wes Wilcox in the front office. And, we wrote about it, and this is a tale as old as time. A prominent player who has an unresolved contract situation, who is trying to read the room and figure out if the goals and the aspirations and the plans of the organization continue to align with the way he sees his career. So that's where that is at. Easier said than done. I would argue that, his teammates and his coaches need to just compartmentalize it and keep it moving. And as long as he is performing, which for the most part he has, then you got to let that other stuff play out. I know this is probably a bad comp, but covering those Warriors teams all those years when Kevin Durant was in town, it taught me that everything I just said about compartmentalize and keep it moving is definitely easier said than done. The Warriors guys around Kevin, when he went consecutive years choosing to have essentially 1-year contracts because he wanted his freedom, or he wanted to be in control, it clearly bothered guys around him because they just wondered if he was all in. Now, again, that's a bad comp because the contract stuff is very different. But that is, one of the many times when I saw how it is challenging for a team, to continue being at its best while this stuff is kind of playing out on the side. But, the meeting by all accounts was fine. The results are going to be the thing here. Just, can they find a way to push this thing in a good direction? What's going to happen? I'm sure we'll jump into it, but with the trade deadline coming up, the Kings are considered among the more aggressive teams at this point. We'll see if that bears any fruit, but they're trying to find solutions.
I mean, they probably go hand in hand, Sam, but you think they're allegedly or reportedly more active because of De'Aaron or because of 13 and 17 and feeling like they're a better team than they are?
Yeah, I actually think it's the latter. I mean, they do go hand in hand for sure. But even with the questions of, is somebody going to get fired in the front office or Mike Brown? My read of that room has been that, the front office has got no illusions about the roster and the need for it to improve, and that this is a player problem. It's just they have too many holes. It's the rim protection, it's the defense, it's on the wings, it's the shooting. They are trying to fill holes on the roster, and I think that was the case regardless. Because if you go back to when they added DeMar in the summer, you can, looking back on it, you could tell that there was all this excitement of what he would bring offensively and what he brought as a veteran and a guy who's legitimately, an all-time great in his respect. He's going to continue to march up the scoring list. He's an incredible player, but the quiet part that nobody was kind of saying very loudly is that, they just didn't solve some of the other issues on the roster that DeMar wasn't a fix for.
So if it's, front office thinking it's more of a player problem, some roster holes to fill, I believe they've got some assets to flip. It's just some of them are in the rotation. I just don't know if they're going to work around the edges or plan a big splash here. Any kind of read on that?
I don't see a big splash coming. And to me, the only big splashes, they're not in on, to my knowledge, I'll qualify. They're not in on Jimmy Butler. They've certainly made calls on Zach LaVine. That's a guy, as you guys know, they signed that contract, years ago. So you inquire about Zach, but I don't see that happening. Similar read of the room with Brandon Ingram. So once you get past those guys, then you're talking about role players. Now, the guy that, is probably kind of the belle of the ball, who's not a star, is Cam Johnson in Brooklyn, because the Kings certainly would love to get him, but I feel like every team you end up talking to right now is in on Cam Johnson. So that one is going to be tough to pull off. But I think it's more role player types and impact rotation players. But the tricky quandary they are in terms of getting something done is that Kevin Huerter and Trey Lyles financially certainly get you to the kind of number where you could bring a guy back who's going to be an impact player, but they're not eager. I mean, as far as draft assets, they're certainly not eager to part ways with too many of those, even though they will look at it. But the other issue is that Keegan Murray, I think even with his offensive struggles, I think there's, he's certainly not untouchable, but there's no change for us and for our reporting of the way they see him in terms of, and that's a guy that, could yield you something in return and be a game changer in negotiations. But he's also a guy that Mike Brown is leaning on very heavily on the defensive side. And they still feel like the offense will come around. And all in all, they are buying Keegan Murray stock still. So without him being in talks, then, does your offer stand out among all these other offers at this time of year? We'll have to wait and see.
We know this all moves pretty quickly. I mean, this team worked themselves back to 500 at 13-13 and was probably feeling okay about themselves. And you lose 4 in a row the way they have at home. And it feels like a little bit more desperation is in the air. We obviously have a deadline in February, but Sam, is your hunch? I mean, they can't let it unravel too far, in which it's getting close to that point. How aggressive or how quickly do you think they need to do something to try to right the ship?
Yeah. It's hard though. You can't move the market, use Cam Johnson, for example. Unless you're gonna
overpay.
That's it. You're gonna. So if you either overpay or move, try to move the market like that, it's just not going to work. So I hear you for sure. And plenty of moves have happened this time of year versus at the deadline, but they don't have that asset that the rest of the league is coming for, that they are willing to give up. And that's how you get something done right now, is like you got extra money in your pocket, so to speak, and it's just a matter of choosing to spend it to get what you want. That's not the position they're in.
Yeah. I was saying this earlier, Sam. It was early on in the show. I was driving home from the in-laws yesterday, and I listened to basically the last part of the second quarter and all of the second half of Tim Roy and Tom Tolbert in the Warrior game. And man, listening to them, I go, man, this sounds exactly like Sacramento. They were talking about how they're in a home stretch. They've given games away. They can't. This team hasn't found themselves. Now they've got a better record than the Kings, and they nearly came back, but they lost. And just how maddening this team is. I think the only saving grace I see right now for the Kings is kind of that top 3 to 4 is separating themselves. And so from 5 to the Kings, I feel like every team is very similar. It's just right now that group has a better record than the Kings. So they're staying with the pack, even though they're kind of a mess right now.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I looked at it right before jumping on. I mean, I think they're 4 games out of the 6th spot. Is that correct? I think
out of even 5th. Yeah.
5th. Yeah. So, that seems very doable. Now you're right. Like, it is a very, very crowded group, and you see a team, like we mentioned, the Spurs almost beating the Knicks yesterday, but even the way the Spurs played, you're kind of watching that team going, oh boy, they're not going away. You know what I mean? Like, that's now a team that is in the mix. This one comment stuck with me recently that JJ Redick made, and I think it was during the Lakers' first game, remember when he kind of waxed poetic about how people don't celebrate the game enough?
Yeah.
He highlighted parity, and he talked about how for all these years people complained that there's no point to the regular season because you knew who was going to be in the finals, and it was the Cavs and the Warriors. So his point was, why, now that that's not the NBA anymore, now that so many more fan bases can legitimately think that their team is in the mix, why is the parity not celebrated? And within that, he complimented the Kings, and he said, look at this Sacramento, I'm paraphrasing, but look at this Sacramento team we're about to face. Like, they're an incredible team, and they have a losing record. And it's not because they're a bad team. And it kind of struck me because a guy like JJ, not only a smart guy, but he's going to be clear-eyed in his view of a team like the Kings. He's just giving his opinion of an opponent. And I think that statement still rings true. It's just a matter of, okay, but what's the spirit of the group? How kind of battered is the collective psyche, if you will, and how do they pull out of it? And how do they start winning a couple of games? Now, since I do think you have it in front of you, Jay, what is the schedule looking like? I know they have a game, I think, Sunday night. What are the next few games
for the Kings?
Yeah.
Tonight they host Detroit. Then they're back. Yeah, back in LA against the Lakers for the final matchup. And then home again for Dallas, Philly, Memphis.
Yeah. I mean, the crazy part about parity is you could win all of those or drop all of those.
Right.
All of them. And by like Detroit included.
Yeah.
So buckle up.
Yeah. Well, and kind of on that note, I mean, how warm is the seat then, would you say, for a guy like Mike Brown, for Monty McNair? Like, I mean, we know players don't get let go. I mean, they can get traded, but right now, I don't know where the front office is, where overall management, Vivek and that group is thinking, but how warm would you say the seats are for the coach and for the GM?
I mean, I continue to, I haven't checked in a couple of days, but continue to be a little surprised that, there's just not, we'll see if this statement holds up, but like, there's not smoke. And part of it is in, my many years of tracking this type of stuff is typically, or at least sometimes you start to hear about the possible replacements first. You know what I mean? And I'm not hearing that on either side. Now, the front office thing is tricky because you got to, the deadline's 6 weeks away. And, so I'm not hearing names about, I mean, whether, who knows, they could, get rid of Monty and elevate Wes, the assistant GM. That's something they could do. But I think I've not heard anybody say that's in the plans. And if you're going to replace all of them, I mean, who is it? And is that a good idea with this much time left? I'm trying to think. I don't remember a front office change happening from a timing standpoint like that, because it could be a disaster. You turn around and somebody's having to get their feet wet right away with all these massive roster decisions staring them in the face. Then on the coaching front, same thing. I mean, you don't hear about a replacement until you do. So that could always change, but I'm not hearing that right now. And as of a couple of days ago, I guess what you would say is kind of Mike's camp was indicating that, like, no word from the Kings that he's in serious trouble here. So I think they're just trying to honestly push through it and find solutions.
All right, Sam, what else? What are you working on the Athletic here right now?
Honestly, just kind of pivoting and getting back into things. The Lakers are certainly on my radar a little bit, trying to learn a little bit more about their trade deadline, and for lack of a better way of putting it, kind of a years and years of standing pat. And so now the question of, as LeBron gets older, he's turning 40, I think tomorrow, 2 days from now, something like that. Is Rob Pelinka, that front office and that organization, going to finally make an impact move to make them more legitimate? Or if, and this is granted, they've pulled off a few nice wins. Do they need to look the other way and think about tearing it down eventually if this group has a ceiling? So that's something that I'm peeking at. I'm looking forward to seeing, I think Monday night, I think it's mentioned Warriors Cavs. It's not the Warriors Cavs battle of old, but Cleveland being in town is on my radar. I enjoy the way they play. I enjoy watching Donovan Mitchell play ball. He's a fun ball player. Kenny Atkinson's had a great impact on that group. So we'll get another look at them and see if the Warriors can, pull that off. So just kind of, jumping around.
Yeah, doing your regular old thing there for the Athletic. Make sure you check out Sam's work. Always great to check in with Sam each and every Thursday. Sam, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate you.
Right. Thank you. That is the great Sam Amick from the Athletic. Again, his show is brought to you by all your Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. We break, come back. 4 Down Territory is next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favorites, but I'm your number one customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our number one customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. Babbel is designed with you in mind. From expert-created lessons to conversational video units and even live classes, you can personalize your Babbel experience to be exactly what you need to really learn a new language more easily. Go ahead, set a goal for yourself. Accomplish it with Babbel. Try Babbel for free. Go to BABBEL.com. That's Babbel.com.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports at SacktownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Thursday, getting out the door to a few sprinkles here and there, but no major impactful weather for the roads early this morning. Into the afternoon, expect to have cloudy skies, temps in the upper 50s with best rain coming through after sunset into early Friday. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's your last chance for year-end event savings at Folsom Lake Kia. Don't miss what might be their lowest payments of the year. Hurry to Folsom Lake Kia right now and tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe here with your daily reminder to get on Tropic Time. Take 10. Sip a refreshing smoothie and manifest the Your Cabana side. Slade hot yoga, treat yourself. Crushed back-to-back meetings, get that me time. Adults at a little extra today, you deserve a vacay. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And when you want a little snack with your smoothie, pair our new Hawaiian barbecue slider with our new caramelized pineapple smoothie for a batch made in pineapple paradise. Limited time only.
This year, American farmers will harvest 2.8 billion bushels of wheat and 15.1 billion bushels of corn. And to this day, American road workers have built 4.2 million miles of roads and counting. We're proud that John Deere machines rolling off the line here in the USA play a part in supporting Americans who work the land and build a better tomorrow. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/manufacturing.
It's time now for your 49ers injury report, brought to you by Jeremy Winter, attorney at law. He cares because he's been there. Deebo Samuels exited early in the third quarter, but was able to return on the next drive. Deebo had a great game, had 7 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown, but it wasn't enough as the 49ers lose in Miami, 29-17. San Francisco falls to 6-9 on the year and are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Next up for the Niners, it's Detroit.
Serious accident. You deserve the law offices of Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237. Jeremy lost his mother in a car accident and knows firsthand the pain caused by tragedy. That is why he became an attorney to fight for others who are going through a tragedy. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, you deserve more. You deserve better. You deserve Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
The year-end sell-a-thon is on at Folsom Lake Ford. Get your favorite new Fords with zero down deals and low finance rates like 0% on many new models on approval of credit. Shop Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall and tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeFord.com.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. the Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Here comes Floyd, throw over the middle, intercepted by Fred Warner.
Faithful to the Bay.
Fred gets up and runs back the other way, 30.
Be there December 30th for Monday Night Football at Levi Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers face the Detroit Lions.
20, one block and he's in.
It's the final regular season home game of the campaign and presented by SAP.
Touchdown!
Tickets are available now. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets.
San Francisco!
Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
on Sacktown Sports.
Thanks again to Sam Amick for joining us. If you ever miss anything on any of the shows, you certainly can go back to sacktownsports.com, our podcast page, and check out interviews, segments, whatever it may be, on demand, on your own time, whenever you want. So again, Sam, some really good intel there on the Kings.
Also a great way to catch up on Kings Rewind.
Oh, yeah. The hit that's sweeping the nation.
That was the thing that was missing. Like, we're not on the same
page
level.
Oh, see?
I think
like when we finish each other's
sandwiches.
Yeah.
I feel like there's that intuition that we both have that was missing. And we also didn't have the post-game rewatch.
Yes, you're right. Which rewind was it? So there were two rewinds while I was gone. Well, there was a double. That's what it was. It was the second Laker game. Normally, I write that and send it to you. And I go, ooh, I didn't do that for Chris for the Monday show. Now the Kings then played the Pacers, and so I sent both at one time, but I'm like, oh, I didn't give you a heads up.
Yeah, it was lucky that
the Pacers was early.
It was lucky that I put most of it together the night before, because if not, like, there would not have been a rewind.
Because you said it was the most clips we'd ever used, which I didn't realize. I felt like I've had longer scripts, but
nope, that was the longest one.
Oh.
And I also wanted to add stuff in the middle, and it was one of those, this is just way too long. I can't do it.
When I wondered if you would add, because I also, so what I was going to do was I wrote it like I normally do, and I was going to leave it. And I go, well, Dave will have to read it. And I go, no, let me voice it too. And that way, if it works, you can just put the clips in. If not, then Dave will read it. So I wanted to give you the option. And then I also go, oh, but what if every once in a while, I'll write a line that you want to break in to put something in. I go, well, I guess you could just stop my audio and put that there.
That was a plan, but we were just way behind.
Yeah. And I didn't realize, I think
like if everything went to plan and I could just magically put everything together and I didn't have to grab any, it probably would have had like 55 clips.
I think it was the first of those rewinds that I was gone that I remember watching it back later because I didn't hear it live, and I watched it later, and that was the one where Dave was not doing well.
No.
So I'm like, oh, he's not even listening. He got up and he left. And he came back. I'm like, what's he doing? And then I later learned that he did not fare too well that day.
That was one of those. That would have been a day of we would have gotten the text at 4 a.m.
Yes, yeah, but since I was off, I'm glad I did not. Well, you know what? I didn't even have the phone in the room at that point. I'm like, I'm shutting this alarm off. I don't have to get up early. Let's just get up when we get up. All right, let's do it. It is time for 4 down territory. 4 downs. All right, Chris, who's down?
Thursday Night Football, Seahawks at Bears. Who you got?
Oh, game of the year. No, it's not. I did see that, by the way, and this is just the hype, but Chris, yesterday's Lakers-Warrior games, Lakers-Warriors game was good. But, I don't know if it was First Take or one of them, whatever. There's like game of the year. I'm like, really? Come on. It's fine.
How about Draymond? Like, if someone gets seriously hurt, then he's getting suspended. But
Right.
just, it's Draymond being Draymond. Whatever.
It's okay. It's fine. It's Draymond. Anyway, all right. Thursday Night Football.
Back to football.
Seahawks at Bears. Who you got? Give me the Seahawks, I guess, with hesitation. I don't know what the weather's going to be like in Chicago. My guess, cold. But yeah, I'll take the Seahawks in that one. What is the point spread for that game?
Oh, it's pretty warm.
Is it?
43 degrees.
Oh, that actually is pretty warm. Seahawks by 4. Yeah. Seahawks need it more than the Bears. Give me the Seahawks. All right, second down.
Who had the best performance yesterday on Christmas Day?
Well, how about Andy Reid? Did you see him post game?
No.
You didn't see him come in as Santa?
Oh, God.
Oh, why?
I'm just tired of the Chiefs.
Well, I get that. That I get. So, like, I don't know what Netflix did, but they gave, like, these Santa coats
I saw that.
to Mahomes and to Kelsey, and then they had, what is that, like, cake ball? I don't know what it was. They were eating the football. But, like, so they had their interview. It wasn't that long after the game. They did the interview. They come in the locker room, and they're, like, running in, showing off their new coats. And then out of nowhere, here comes Santa Reid. Andy was looking the part, so that was good. Look, both the Chiefs and the Ravens looked great. Mahomes was stellar. Derrick Henry looked good. I mean, I think it's a combo platter, but between the teams, I thought the Ravens and Chiefs had their day. That's for sure. Bad day for the Steelers. Bad day for the for the Texans. So I'll give it a co to the Chiefs. Not even the individuals. The Chiefs and the Ravens as teams had the best performance on Christmas Day. Third down.
Pete Carroll reportedly isn't interested in the Bears job. Should the Bears be interested in Pete?
I'm not the biggest fan of Pete Carroll, especially maybe from his USC days.
Ugh.
And the gum chewing and just everything disgusts me. No. He can coach. Sure, they should be interested. I don't know if that he'd be the choice. I mean, if he's interested, certainly worth talking to. Chicago just can't get it right, man. And I know there were a lot of people excited about them a year ago on Justin Fields. I still laugh at that. The hype train, like he could win the MVP. I'm like, okay, relax. And then this year, based on who they added and who they drafted, and Caleb Williams and the receiving crew, they should have been better in the start they got off to, but they self-destructed. They need to get this next hire right. Pete Carroll could be the choice. I'm not worried about his age. That part's not bothering me at all. But I think they'll go somewhere else ultimately with that one. All right, number 4, fourth down.
With the 1 seed locked up, if the Chiefs rest their guys next week, they might not play another game for 25 days.
Man.
Any concerns?
I mean, that's the beauty of dictating the terms here, winning the 1 seed. So they don't have to win in week 18. They will have the bye in week 1. And since they played on Wednesday, so they won't play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week. All of next week off, all of the week after off, and then finally the playoffs. So, I mean, that's what will be listed if they don't play well. But they're at home. They've been great. They found ways to win. It's just if the Chiefs can keep doing that, they could be that first team ever to win back to back to back. I wouldn't be concerned. You want to get your guys healthy. You want to get your guys right. Game planning, scheming. This team's been together a long time. I think they'll be just fine. All right, that's 4 down territory. When we come back, who's hot? Who's not? And we'll do a 3 in the key for tonight's Kings and Pistons game. That is all straight ahead on Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
The holiday driving season is here, and my good friends over at Jiffy Lube have an awesome holiday oil change special going on right now. Get a full synthetic oil change starting at just $76.99 with a $33 off coupon online. That's right, starting at just $76.99 for up to 5 quarts of full synthetic motor oil with the online coupon. Go visit jiffylube.com right now, find a location near you, and get that $33 off full synthetic oil change coupon now. Most vehicles are covered, especially vehicles and diesel or extra. You got to show the coupon for discount. See the store for details. Happy holidays from Jiffy Lube.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPfest.com. It's Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Find out more at CITPfest.com.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
I'm Craig Ashton with the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. It may sound contradictory for a personal injury firm to wish you a safe holiday season, but we at Ashton & Price wish that no one has to suffer an injury in an automobile collision. But if you're an accident injury victim, you can lean on Ashton & Price to do all the legal legwork. They introduce you to the best medical care providers in the area, so during this holiday season, you can focus on your health and your family. So from all of us at Ashton & Price, we advise you to have the happiest and safest of holidays.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hey, it's time to open up your calendar app for some incredible live events coming your way. This is the Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar, bringing you the hottest shows in town. Kick off 2025 with country superstars Dylan Scott and Jackson Dean. They're hitting the stage at Thunder Valley on January 10th for a night of hot country hits. Then on January 11th, laugh until your sides hurt with comedy legend Bill Engvall. He's performing live at Thunder Valley, a show you won't want to miss. And the one and only Justin Timberlake is bringing electrifying energy to the Golden One Center on January 15th. This is your chance to see an icon in action. For a more intimate vibe, catch Bryce Vine at Ace of Spades on January 25th. It'll be an unforgettable night of alternative hip-hop. And finally, looking ahead to February 20th, Old 60 lights up Ace of Spades with their unique blend of rock and soul. Get your tickets now because these shows will sell out fast. For details and updates, visit SacktownSports.com. And stay tuned. This is your ticket to the best live entertainment in the 916, the Sacktown Sports Live Events Calendar.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back, January 16th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. We've got more tackle. Grab deep discounts on a huge selection of fishing gear, apparel, and accessories at the giant Fisherman's Warehouse booth. This is the place to discover your next adventure, nearby or around the world. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 16th through 19th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner.
What's hot is Alan Stiles bringing in donuts. Yeah.
The diet is definitely going into effect on January 1st.
Oh, yeah. Weren't we talking about doing that? What was it? Water fast?
Yes.
Or just fasting?
It was the water fast. That's
water
what,
fast.
Dave. We just have to keep reminding Dave because it's his thing.
It's his idea that he told us. Then you brought it up, and I'm like, let's do it. And then it was like, Dave, hello? You there? You with us?
And it's something that I know he wants to do. He wants to
try.
Yes.
There's no chance he'll remember that.
No.
Yeah. So we're going to have to pick the date.
We will have to remind him.
Yeah, to do it. I'd be curious on that. So what is it we're talking about doing? Like a 3-day water fast?
Yes, a 3-day water fast.
If anybody's done that, say yay, nay, good, bad, indifferent, should we be doing this?
Everyone that we've seen that has done it seems to like it.
Like it?
Endorse it? Endorses it.
Okay.
Likes the results from it.
Well, obviously the results, it's like a cleanse a little bit. 1, 2, I'm sure there'll be an immediate drop of some weight, but just what will that do? So if you've done it, 3-day water fast, let us know. 916-339-1140 or on the YouTube. The good, the bad, the indifferent, what we should, what are our trouble spots here? Have you gone a day without eating before?
Yeah.
I think I have. I know there's been plenty of those. This kind of interaction, I'm sure, has happened. It's like late in the day, like, oh, I don't think I've eaten today. It's like, because you're just so caught up in whatever that is, whatever has happened, and then you're like, yeah.
It's usually like you start off early doing something and you forgot to grab something.
Yeah, and then you just
and you're like,
busy.
oh, I'll just do it later.
Yeah. And sometimes when you go, like, I find myself then I'm like, yeah, I'm not that hungry. Like, I haven't eaten, but it's almost like your mind's telling you, like, I need to eat. Well, do you? Let me see. If anybody has, let us know. Again, 916-339-1140. Okay. Yes, I approve for the 5-day fast.
Oh,
it's
okay.
great. 5 days? 5? Okay. Well, give us a little more there, 916, on trouble spots. Oh, they said change my life. That's the very next line. Well, for the better, for the worse.
Well, Texter also, what was the plan? What was your 5-day?
Yeah, give us a little more detail on how you did it, whether we should try it. And we're talking 3, but 5-day fast. Interesting. All right, Chris, who's hot? Who's not?
Travis Kelce.
Hot?
Very hot.
Yeah, he is.
Yesterday, he had his 90th reception of the season. It is his 7th consecutive season with 90 or more receptions, which is the longest streak by any player in NFL history. To put that in perspective with his position, no other tight end has 90 or more reception in more than 2 consecutive seasons.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember there's like a slow start to the year, too. Like, what's wrong with Kelce? Nothing. Give me a 1 to 10 on the Hallmark. I mean, the facts behind it are pretty like a 1. But it actually makes it more intriguing. I'm gonna
like that laugh. Was the one that like I
enjoyed it all. Of a
I
sudden.
had to like rewind it because I was laughing
You're
so
like,
hard.
Did they say 9
it was,
times?
Yeah, it was like one of those. It was like what? Like if you're making a movie like that, there needs to be somebody.
Yeah, what's that called? Like not a script reader, but someone like an expert in football. Yeah. Where you go. Okay,
I don't think you just need like a idiot like sports fan to be like, wait, no.
Let make it a 3-time MVP. Just something like that's a little bit believable. 9-time MVP.
Like they're like, oh, we want him to make because like if you've got a 9-year MVP that's also leading the league in receptions and touchdowns, that person shouldn't be worried about their contract situation.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm trying to think if like you and I wrote a script of something that like, we didn't really know about, and then someone's like, what are they? That's not even like, I don't even know what field that would be, but probably plenty. But that one's just, you're like, okay, not a sports fan who wrote this. Who's not?
Manchester City Football Club.
Great.
They were leading today 1-0, and then they ended up drawing 1-1. So they dropped 2 points. That is their 12th. That is their 12th point dropped from winning positions this season. To put that in perspective with last season when they won the league, they dropped 10 points from winning positions for the entire season.
When's your next match?
Either Saturday or Sunday.
Okay. You okay?
Yeah. See, it's one of those things of like they've just been winning all the time. So it's not like I can be mad. It's not like I'm furious with what's going on because they just won every year. But it's just like, ugh.
Yeah. You want it. You want more. You want more. We asked if anybody's done the fast. Chris, here's another one from Roy. Done the 3-day fast, no food and water for faith reasons. It was more mental than anything. I'm sure that's the case. I'm sure
no water. Isn't that a little...
Well, here's the second part of that. I've done a 21-day fast, no water for 3 days, then water only for the remainder of the time. The body felt great after the first 3 days. And then one more from Zabes. I have, but it was long ago. I don't remember. I do love a good life challenge, though. Okay, let me see. We got another one here. 3-day juice cleanse. 16 ounce of juice for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and water. Dropped 8 pounds. Took about an hour to pre-make all the juice with a juicer. But we're talking about nothing. We're talking about just water. Sometimes I've heard like broth and water or just liquids.
I think now that I'm thinking about it, it was a 5-day thing, and broth. You could start doing broth on the
Yeah, didn't he say
Thursday.
MMA guy, the runner, Dana White? Didn't he say Dana White? Wasn't he going off of Dana White doing it? Or that was the thing you sent? You sent a thing where Dana White did it.
I think he got it from Dana White, and then I found a clip on Twitter from Dana
So
White.
I remember him saying something about water and then bone broth or something like that is all he did. And then now maybe he does it maybe a couple times a year. I don't know. Anyway, if you've done it, good, bad, indifferent, trouble signs, something we should do, something we shouldn't do, let us know. It's good to make your body suffer trauma of fasting. 3 days of no food and water is crazy. Yeah, we're not talking about no water. I feel like you need some water. I don't know. Could be wrong. I mean, can anything be done? Of course. But I'm not trying to torture. I'm just going along with the group if we do it. All right. So there's who's hot, who's not. How about we do a little 3 in the key? Some predictions for tonight's Kings and Pistons game. Let's do it. Katie says fasting is good for your body. Okay. I know there's also the intermittent fasting when people don't eat certain times a day. That I've seen and done before. All right, Chris, here we go. First question on our 3 in the key. The last King to score, not a field goal, just to score. I'm going to go with De'Aaron Fox.
I am going to say Isaac Jones.
That's either a good sign or a bad sign for the game today. Who knows? All right, we have 2 draft picks picked right around each other. The Kings could have taken Jaden Ivey. They took Keegan Murray. So we're going Murray versus Ivey point total today. I'm going to go Keegan 10, Ivey 20.
I'm going to say Keegan 12, Ivy 18.
Okay. And then the last one, we need a random stat, something different, something weird, some prediction you're making for the game. I think he's going to get fed up tonight. I think we're seeing Coach Brown not get tossed, but he's going to get a technical foul. Mikey B is going to be upset tonight.
I'm going to say Keegan will get a double-double.
Oh, I thought you said it's technical. That'd be the greatest call of all time. Can he do it? I think the only way Keegan gets a technical is if it's like misinterpreted.
Yeah.
You know, it's like foul. Oh gosh.
It's like the Tim Duncan like laughing on.
Yeah. It's like, wait, I didn't do that. And then Keegan wouldn't even argue that. It's like, okay. I guess I got a technical. Thanks. All right, so Keegan gets a double-double. Chris. There you go. All right, final hour ahead. In the final hour, we'll look at the NFL big picture of the playoffs starting to round into form. We'll have what to watch, crosstalk with Alan Stiles at Celebrity Birthdays. But when we come back, we will preview tonight's game. Boy, doesn't it feel like a must-win for the Sacramento Kings? When we talked to Sam Amick earlier, he said, I'm not so sure how hot the seat is for either Mike Brown or the front office, but you don't want to keep losing. You got to get this going in the right direction. And soon we'll preview Kings and Pistons next.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for 3, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Ready for winter? Forecasters are already predicting record sick days. Don't become a healthcare statistic. Fight sickness with fitness. Create a daily workout and stick to it. Let the Good Feet store help you meet your workout goals. With Good Feet Arch Supports, the pain in your feet, knees, hips, and back become history. And Good Feet Arch Supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Visit goodfeet.com for an appointment or just stop in. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
It's time now for your 49ers injury report, brought to you by Jeremy Winter, attorney at law. He cares because he's been there. Deebo Samuels exited early in the third quarter, but was able to return on the next drive. Deebo had a great game, had 7 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown. But it wasn't enough as the 49ers lose in Miami 29-17. San Francisco falls to 6-9 on the year and are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Next up for the Niners, it's Detroit.
Serious accident. You deserve the law offices of Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237. Jeremy lost his mother in a car accident and knows firsthand the pain caused by tragedy. That is why he became an attorney to fight for others who are going through a tragedy. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, you deserve more. You deserve better. You deserve Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237.
California, it's the Ford Year-End Sell-a-thon. 14 days of the biggest savings on an incredible selection. So visit your California Ford dealer now through January 2nd and get great offers across the lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs, like the built Ford Tough F-150 truck, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 47 years and counting. For the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport, with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors. And check out the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. It's the Ford Year-End Sell-a-thon, and it's your chance to save. Whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric, now is the best time to get behind the wheel of your brand new Ford truck or SUV and drive it home today. But hurry, these offers absolutely end January 2nd. So go to your California Ford dealer today. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, welcome into the final hour of this day after Christmas show. Jason Ross, Christopher Laud. An hour from now, we will have Alan Stiles in studio. He'll actually join us in the last part of this hour. A little celebrity birthdays and some crosstalk. So we got you going all day today, then into the Drive Guys, into Kings basketball tonight. We're going to talk about that game coming up in a moment, Kings and Pistons. We are going to break talking about a potential fast that, I think so. It did start with Dave. Did he mention it first?
Yeah, Dave was the first one to bring it up.
And then
Dave brought it up, and then both of us were on board, and he's like, oh, okay.
Okay, then we'll do it. And then nothing happened. This might have even been in November.
Yes, this was when he was doing that weight loss thing.
Yeah, was that all of November
Or maybe
all
that
of
was
October? Yeah, it was a while ago. And then we brought it up again. I think you even sent the group chat like, hey, are we doing this?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then nothing from Dave. And then it was like, okay, in the new year. It's like, okay.
It might just be us too.
Yeah, it's probably you and I. So I asked if anybody has done it. Let me see this one. Text line. I'm on day 2 of a 3-day fast.
Starting on Christmas. Wow.
Yeah, may go longer if I can resist the temptation of food.
That's what I saw, like a couple of people commenting on that thing that I sent, that story that I sent. And they're saying, like, after I did like a couple days, it got easier. So I just went like a couple more than.
Wow. Well, here's another one, Chris. A 3-day fast regenerates new blood cells, the mitochondria, where it completely cleanses out your whole body. I had cirrhosis on my liver. Wow. Worse than fatty liver disease and pre-diabetes. That has all gone away. Well, good for you.
Wow.
That's good. The one I did like, though, was, where was this? This is from our chat. Fasting is good for your body. Constantly digesting means your body can't do maintenance work it needs to do. Oh, yeah. Dave will be so cranky on day 3. I've done a 5-day. After the 3rd day, your body runs off body fat. You think more clear and feel great. No hunger, believe it or not. I also had black tea with no sugar.
That was the other thing I saw is like you can drink no calorie like liquids. So they said like after I believe it was like the
0
first
calories.
It depends on the tea.
I guess the sugar would add, yeah.
But the 24 hours is like strictly water, but then after that, no calorie. So like coffee, they said.
Okay.
Obviously with no cream or sugar.
Dave says he's in when we return. We've just been off so much.
Well,
Dave's talking about it.
All right, we won't say anything again, and let's see if Dave remembers.
Tom says 92-hour fast made some insane short and long-term changes for me. Okay.
I mean, seems pretty positive.
Yeah. And then Roy, this hurts, but it's funny. Kings are on a 3-game win fast.
Boom.
It's actually 4. They went the extra, like you said, Chris. They were feeling so good. Like, let's take another game. Let's do this again. We don't have the desire to win. We have no cravings. We don't care about this beam. Let's just fast. Okay. Well, not that I'm actually, this would be the question for you, Chris, because isn't it weird when everybody has said good, do it, yes. Like I kind of want to, like, don't do it, guys.
Or just like hey, just a heads up, this is something that might happen.
As a caution, you might, I don't know, get the hiccups. I'm just throwing something out there.
Not the hiccups.
I don't want to do something too bad, like where they say something else. But
or just like, yeah, I did it and I didn't see any changes or anything like that.
I had to bite my hand off. I was so hungry. Yeah.
Munch.
Leave me alone. I'm hungry, all right? All right, so Kings and Pistons tonight. I don't know what you think of the Pistons. Probably don't think much of them or about them. But I'm telling you, tonight is really not about the Detroit Pistons. It really isn't. But I do want to tell you a little bit about them. But to me, to get out of this rut that the Kings are in, it's 100% on them. And the hard part is when you're in this, there is extra pressure. You don't want it should be like any other game. You want to show up at the arena and have the intensity and the focus and the drive and the desire, all that stuff you need. Reckless abandon, play with a purpose, all that stuff. And then hopefully as a byproduct, you execute and then you shoot the ball well. Well, right now, I felt like the Laker game, the second one, and the first half of the Pacer game, they had some of those elements. Like they were diving on the floor for loose basketballs. There was a purpose. There was an intensity. I'm like, okay. But you have to add in the other parts. It's nice when you make your shots. It's nice when you execute. They weren't executing and making their shots as well. And then it just, their effort kind of went for naught. And then when they lost the effort, they didn't have the other things going, and there goes the game. They just absolutely got cooked, embarrassed at home by Indiana. Laker game wasn't that embarrassing to me. The second one, the first one, I didn't love. The second one, the first game was awful. It was just a bad game for the Lakers too. I mean, they won. And JJ Redick after the game said that was one of his favorite wins of the year. It's because he knew his team was bad. He got through it. They won on the road, and the Kings just didn't have it. The next game, the Kings brought it and just back to the executing and finding ways to win. Couldn't do that. So now it's like everything's going against them, right? They don't feel good about themselves. There's rumors about everything, changing everything, changing the lineup, changing the coach, changing the front, all that stuff's out there, all that noise. Well, I don't even know what I suggest to them is just get out there and play better. There's a novel concept. But if you're thinking about, oh, good, Detroit's coming in, well, that's not really the way they should look at it. I mean, even if they're playing Cleveland, OKC, or the worst team in the league, this team is in its own way right now and has to figure that out. But if we're going to talk to you a little bit about Detroit, Detroit's come out west so far and already won at Phoenix and in LA against the Lakers. They're 13-17. Yeah, that's not that good. Well, guess what? That's the same record as the Kings. And if you're just going on the Pistons from a year ago, well, that team beat the Kings, one of the embarrassing losses a year ago for the Kings. And the other one, if I'm not mistaken, the Kings were down big early in Detroit, but came back to win. But Detroit is doing some good things. I mean, again, 13-17, they're probably overachieving a bit where the Kings are underachieving. And if you look at their roster and who they start, I mean, it's a different team than we've seen. They added Tobias Harris in the offseason. They added Tim Hardaway Jr. in the offseason. Those two guys start. with guys that they started to develop and draft and grow. And Jalen Duren, who's a nice, athletic, gifted center. Cade Cunningham, who's having an all-star year. Jaden Ivey, who is starting as well. And then, their bench. It's not a bench that's going to overwhelm you, but they've got their roles defined. Malik Beasley's a good bench player. Ron Holland, who's their draft pick. Azur Thompson, some names that they've drafted and groomed and just tried to make better. So, for the Kings, when you're looking at this game, I'm going to go back to some of the points I made earlier in kind of the good, the bad, the ugly of the Kings through 30 games. This is me. I'm not the coach. These coaching staff, they got far more experience. They know their roster better. They know their team better. But this would be, I guess, my best suggestion on the possible quickest fix with what you've got with this roster, without making any changes, with who you're going to throw out there tonight. This is what I would do. I'm good with the starting lineup. I think Keegan and DeRozan, Sabonis, assuming he's a little under the weather. I know he's listed as questionable. Sabonis, Fox, and Monk. I'm good with that group. Keon Ellis has to play. Not, if someone's in foul trouble or if it's if you need it. No, has to. Keon's in the rotation to me. Has to. Non-negotiable. He's in your top 6 or 7. I would play Trey Lyles as well. That's 7 with certainty. After that is where I think some of the freedom can come in. But I think if you really rely on that 7 and really move the minutes around, you can get away with almost the entirety of the game playing that group. After that, I'm going on matchups and instinct. Oh, excuse me. I forgot Kevin Huerter. There's your 8. I knew there was 8. I couldn't remember my other player. That's the 8 I play. That's why I knew the math. I go, wait, why is it not working out as well as 7? I think that's the 8 you have to play. Have to. And you need more from him. There's no other way around that. Like, that starting 5 has to play better. Those first 3 bench players have to play better. I think Ashley called earlier and said, maybe moving the lineup, moving guys around to get more from your bench. If your starters, like DeRozan's not playing very well right now. If DeRozan was playing like he has been, to go with Fox, Monk, Murray, and Sabonis, that starting group's going to get about 100 points. I don't think the bench needs to do that much. But what the bench needs to do in Huerter, Lyles, and Ellis, they need to play their role well. And for Keon, that could be getting just a few points or no points, but defending in his 15 to 20 minutes. Trey Lyles getting rebounds, maybe hitting an open 3. Huerter hitting an open 3, getting deflections. I don't think they need a ton from their bench right now. I would like to see it, but I think there's so much more predicated on the starters. And let's go to the last game. Now, this is a bad example because the Kings played terribly, but that's the last game we had. Sabonis, 17 points. I think they could live with that. Probably want him closer to 20. DeRozan, 2 points. Unacceptable. That's got to be closer to 20. So you're already, 18 and 3, 21 points off what you need to be with those two. Fox at 23, probably want that a little higher, but I can live with Fox at 23. Monk at 14, maybe a tad higher, closer to 20. And then Keegan at 10. I think you could almost live with him in that range, but I think you need to have Sabonis, DeRozan, Monk, and Fox all close to 20, if not over. And then that's 80 plus. And then Murray, hopefully in the teens. I think you can get to 100 with that group most nights. If you do, you got a shot. And then Lyles, Huerter, and Ellis get you the scraps. And if you want to extend past that and play Robinson or McLaughlin or Len or McDermott or Crowder, that's fine. But I think the 8 is what they need to settle in on right now. That's your best 8 players. Play those guys. Let them figure their way out. And if they can't figure their way out, then the changes are going to have to happen. I mean, I don't know any other way to do it. I would play my best 8. I wouldn't tinker too much else than that. I mean, if you're not going to make a change, your best way out of this is playing your best players. That's it. Play them. If you have to overplay them, They've had some time off. I'm sorry. You guys dug this hole. You're going to have to dig yourself out. That's what I would do. All right, when we come back, the NFL playoff picture starting to settle in a little bit. AFC is a little bit more refined than the NFC. We'll talk about what happened yesterday on the Christmas Day NFL games and the impact it had and what to expect this week, including tonight's game as well. That straight ahead.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, Folsom Lake Ford. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, like America's best-selling F-Series. Check out a huge selection of Mavericks, F-150s, and Super Duty trucks, or tech-filled SUVs like Explorers and Expeditions, plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. All in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with zero down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest finance rates. And Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they are my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. For 35 years and counting, come down and take a test drive today. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Someone talking about our fast on the text line. If we ever start this, don't overeat after the fast. Slowly break in the fast. Okay. That probably makes sense. And I don't know that you're going to be like dying to eat right away. I don't know. I'm sure you'll want some food.
Yeah, it's with like if you're sick and you just like can't eat for a bit,
Yeah.
and then you like
I just want something, but I
Yeah.
don't want to. Yeah, just to get a little of that taste.
guessing not going to go with anything rich.
Yeah. Family Schlegel, a regular on our YouTube. If Dave fasts, I plan on bringing up food in the chat every day. Cold-blooded. Do what you got to do. But it is mental. That part, I believe, Chris, the person that texts it's really a mental challenge. And I think that most of these things are. What's the longest, not food, let me think of another. Have you done any kind of like physical, like a long run, like a marathon or a long, like physical mental challenge like that? A physical challenge that turns into mental.
There was like a Boy Scouts thing that we did that we all tried to like stay up for the night.
Okay.
And it was one of those things where like,
well, you've stayed up a whole night before, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Usually there's gambling involved, but
yeah.
But it was one of those things that just like, oh yeah, I can make it. It's like 2:00. I'm like, I'm still feeling good. And then like 3, you're just like sitting there, and it's one of those things where you're just like, and then like you're trying to fight it, but you can't, and then you just like pass out sitting down.
I had a couple of later nights, I revert back when I don't have to get up. So when I was off all this time, I stayed up later.
The bad thing about us 3, I think, is we're all the same like night people.
Yes.
And
we all work in the morning. How does this work? But there's something about when you said 3:00, like that's the trigger for me. Like, when'd you go to bed? Oh, 2. Oh, that's late. But if you get to 3, I feel like, that's too far. Like you've probably pushed too far, and you like, if I sleep now and even sleep 6 to 7 hours, like I'm only gonna be up at 10. Like, what am I doing with the next? Like, that's a weird time. But 12, 1, 2, Anyway,
no, we went to my cousin's for Christmas Eve, and I got there probably about 10 or 11, and their kid, he's 18, and he's like, oh yeah, he's still asleep. It's like, man, miss those days of Just like
asleep
up at,
in the morning. In the morning,
just like waking up to like 11 or whatever.
Yeah. I don't think I had that. I don't remember doing like I've had plenty of my younger brothers and even like nephews and like they're still sleeping. I don't remember doing that. I don't think I did.
I definitely could do that.
I mean, I slept in, but I wasn't like till like 11.
But it's always
12.
like the night before you're up to like.
Yeah, it might have been up late, and I think I got up like 9 or 10, but like maybe 10 would be pretty late. Like if I slept past that, I'm like, oh my gosh, where's the day gone?
Yeah, like I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's tough. Definitely tough. Well, yesterday we had some NFL games and some good performances by the guys you'd expect, like Lamar Jackson.
Play action. Lamar rolls right, pumps once, pumps twice. Now he steps back, backpedaling, fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Isaiah Likely. And Lamar Jackson does it again.
Yeah, Lamar was good. The Ravens were good. The Texans had nothing to offer up in that game. And then the other guy that was good in the first game, this is a game I thought would be better with Pittsburgh and Kansas City, but too much Mahomes and Kelsey.
Mahomes will throw again. Right side with a little bit of room. Slings it sidearm into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. A historic touchdown for Travis Kelsey. His 77th touchdown reception. An all-time Kansas City Chiefs record.
All right, so now what we've established with those two games yesterday is a little bit, and I say a little bit of clarity for the AFC. With that win yesterday, Kansas City has guaranteed themselves the number 1 seed in the AFC. So now they can cruise into next week, the final week of the NFL regular season. They'll have a bye in the opening round of the playoffs, and they won't have to play until the divisional round where they will host some team from the AFC. We know the Jets are out, the Patriots are out, the Browns are out, Jags, Titans, and Raiders are out. So what this has done, we have 5 teams left battling for the last 2 spots. The Bills have won their division. The Texans have won their division. And the Chiefs have won their division. And as we said, the 1 seed. We don't know whether Baltimore or Pittsburgh will win the division yet. Baltimore now has a 1-game lead. But both teams have clinched a playoff spot. So again, Bills, Ravens, Steelers, Texans, and Chiefs are in. And the 5 teams remaining for the last 2 spots, Miami is in play, Cincinnati's in play, and Indianapolis is in play, but they all have 7 wins. They've got to win both, and they need the Chargers and the Broncos to lose both because the Chargers are 9-6, the Broncos are 9-6. So the AFC is almost done, but not quite there. And if you look at the matchups this week, the Chargers play the Patriots on Saturday, so the Chargers can clinch a spot. The Bengals play host to the Broncos. So that's a big game for the Bengals. Obviously, they need to win to hand the Broncos a loss. But if the Broncos were to win, that too would put them in the postseason. What a story the Broncos have turned out to be. After last year and what Bo Nix has done, Sean Payton, they've done a terrific job. So that's what the that's what the AFC looks like. As far as the NFC, it's a little bit more complicated. Not much more, but a little bit more. You know that the Cowboys, the Giants, the Bears, the Saints, the Panthers, the Cardinals, and yes, the 49ers have all been eliminated. Those that are in include the Philadelphia Eagles. They are in. They have yet to clinch the division, but they are in. The Lions, the Vikings, and the Packers are all in from the NFC North, with none of them clinching the division just yet. So you got 4 teams in, and you've got 5 teams battling for 3 spots, including 2 division spots still to be named, and 1 more wild card. That wild card is likely going to go to the Commanders. Likely. They're at 10-5. And the NFC South, you've got both the Falcons and the Buccaneers at 8-7. You got the Rams in the NFC West leading the way at 9-6, with Seattle, who's playing tonight, as we mentioned, on the road in Chicago. They are 8-7. So I think it'd be great to see the Commanders get in. That's a nice turnaround. The Eagles are in. Just will they win the division or not? They're playing really well. And that NFC North, I know a lot of people still aren't believing in the Vikings at 13-2. The Lions are probably a team most people believe in at 13-2, and the Packers are going to be a problem. That's a good team. They're really well balanced at 11-4. So I feel like the NFC, you're going to end up with either a Falcon team or a Buccaneer team in, and either the Rams or the Seahawks to win the division. And minus maybe the NFC South winner, but I still think Tampa, if right, they could do some damage. And the Rams, if everything is right for them too. It's just, I think the NFC playoff picture is going to be fun. And if you have a new team like the Commanders in, seeing the Vikings back in the postseason, and then some of the regulars that, you normally see there, Philly, the Rams seem to be a relative regular. The Packers seemingly are always there. I just like the way it's set up, and we still have some drama going into Week 17, and likely we'll still have some drama going into Week 18 as well. And so it sets up for this weekend's action. We mentioned the game tonight that has some relevance, certainly for the Seahawks as 4-point favorites on the road in Chicago. And then Saturday's triple header, the Chargers-Patriots. That game is important for the Chargers. The Bengals-Broncos, a lot of importance to that one. Cardinals-Rams. Cardinals are out, but, the Rams need to win to kind of secure their spot. Then you get to Sunday's games, Jets and Bills, Raiders and Saints. The Raiders, didn't get a chance to talk about them yet, getting that win on Sunday, which was nice, but it hurt their chance to get the number 1 overall pick. Colts at Giants, Cowboys at Eagles, Panthers, Buccaneers. You got the Jags hosting the Titans in a battle of 3-win teams. Dolphins at the Browns. Dolphins need that game. Packers at the Vikings is probably the game of the week. Falcons at Commanders in Sunday Night Football, and then the game we thought would be a massive one on Monday night, but it's not going to be. The Lions into town, taking their 7-0 road record and 13-2 record overall to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. So that's a look at the big picture in the NFL. We've got more to get to when we come back. What to watch tonight? There's some more bowl games, some NBA, of course, the Kings, and Thursday Night Football. We've got all that and still to come, crosstalk and celebrity birthdays, all that with Alan Stiles coming your way here on Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sacktown Sports.
Spins away from the defender, in the paint, soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Thursday, getting out the door to a few sprinkles here and there, but no major impactful weather for the roads early this morning. Into the afternoon, expect to have cloudy skies, temps in the upper 50s with best rain coming through after sunset into early Friday. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Coach Christie here reminding you it's the final days of year-end savings right now at Folsom Lake Kia. Don't miss last chance massive year-end discounts. Hurry to Folsom Lake Kia or FolsomLakeKia.com.
The holiday driving season is here, and my good friends over at Jiffy Lube have an awesome holiday oil change special going on right now. Get a full synthetic oil change starting at just $76.99 with a $33 off coupon online. That's right, starting at just $76.99 for up to 5 quarts of full synthetic motor oil with the online coupon. Go visit jiffylube.com right now, find a location near you, and get that $33 off full synthetic oil change coupon now. Most vehicles are covered, especially vehicles and diesel are extra. You got to show the coupon for discount. See the store for details. Happy holidays from Jiffy Lube.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back, January 16th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Get discount coupons at Big O Tires and O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Visit sportsexpos.com for locations, show map, exhibitor listing, and seminar schedules. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 16th through 19th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe here with your daily reminder to get on Tropic Time. Take 10, sip a refreshing smoothie, and manifest that you're cabana side. Slade Hot Yoga, treat yourself. crushed back-to-back meetings? Get that me time. Adulted a little extra today? You deserve a vacay. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And when you want a little snack with your smoothie, pair our new Hawaiian barbecue slider with our new caramelized pineapple smoothie for a batch made in pineapple paradise. Limited time only.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPfest.com. It's Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Find out more at CITPfest.com.
Only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Reeves has it. 5 seconds to go. Reeves on the drive. Inside Lamb. He banks it in with 1 second remaining. No timeouts. Here comes Curry. Launches a three-quarters court. Oh, off the mark. And the Lakers win a thriller. Austin Reeves with a brilliant game, a triple-double and the game winner.
That's a great Mike Breen on the call yesterday. National television for the Kings and the Lakers. 5 Christmas Day games. As I got to admit, when the ball was inbounded to Steph, anytime he shoots, you just know there's a possibility it'll go in. It was three-quarters court. Odds were low. Lakers get a big win. Warriors continue to slide, much like our own Sacramento Kings are sliding. 4 losses in a row, and that's the difference. If you look at team 10 through team, the rest of them really, 10 through the bottom 5 here. Warriors have lost 2 in a row, Spurs 2 in a row, Kings 4 in a row, Blazers 2 in a row, Jazz just 1, and the Pelicans 7 in a row. Man. New Orleans is a team to watch. I know we talked to Sam earlier about the Kings and possible trades. The trade deadline, that's a team that had higher expectations than this. They traded for DeJounte Murray to go with C.J. McCollum, Zion, Ingram, Herb Jones, that whole crew, Trey Murphy. But injuries have just annihilated their season. They're 5-25. Only team worse than them, the Washington Wizards at 4-23. All right, as far as things to watch tonight, well, of course, you can watch whether you're in attendance, watch on television, or listen right here on Sacktown Sports. The great Gary Gerald will be on the call, the G-Man, tonight for the Kings and the Detroit Pistons, even though on our sheet I wrote the 76ers for some reason. I don't know why. But it's Kings and Pistons tonight from Golden One Center, as the Kings are looking to stop their 4-game losing streak. Detroit has won their last 2. Both teams an identical 13-17. Kings are scoring more points per game and giving up less points per game than the Pistons, but that doesn't much matter right now as Sacramento trying to sort their way through this skid that they're in. Other games of note to watch from the Western Conference. Well, you get the Thunder in action, the league's best team, second best team at 23-5, Western Conference's best team. At Indiana, the Pacers have found their groove. They were 10-15. Well, they've won 5 in a row. So it can be done. It can be turned around. And they have done that coming out west, getting some quality wins. And they find themselves now 15-15. I would say that game's a good one to watch. The Rockets at the Pelicans. Houston's done a nice job winning 3 in a row. They're 20-9. That's still probably one of the better wins of the season for the Kings, winning that one. But they are at the Pelicans. And at this point, New Orleans, I wonder what the thought process is in New Orleans, because, you could make the argument if they don't make a trade, they'll win some more games, as the season goes along. But imagine if they won the lottery and got Cooper Flagg to go with the roster that could come back. I mean, a lot of times when you get the first pick, you have a terrible team. I do not think the Pelicans have a terrible team. They just have had terrible luck with injuries this year. And I'm going to look back. They were 2-0. They were 3-3. And since they were 3-3, they've gone 2-22. Man. For the Pelicans with the 2 wins against Denver and Phoenix. That's bizarre. Their wins this year are Chicago, Portland, Indiana, Denver, and Phoenix. Kings still face them a couple times in a row, 3 times in 4 games in the middle to early February, right before the All-Star break. So I'm sure New Orleans will be right by then, have their guys healthy, and looking to cruise. So you got those games to check out today. Also, the NFL tonight, Thursday Night Football, Seahawks at the Bears. So that one's coming up a little bit later tonight. Let me see, what do we got here on our chat? Oh, thank you from Mustache Spider. Jason, the Kings may be bad right now, but you are our all-star. Speaking of the all-star, I don't know that I thought there'd be, a lock for the Kings to have an all-star, maybe even 2. Could they have 3 the way it was going at the beginning with DeRozan, Sabonis, and Fox? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to get any. I don't know at this point. And some people are like, oh, Fox will be an all-star for sure. The guards in the Western Conference, I mean, think about that. You likely Curry and Luka will probably get voted in. And then SGA is going to get in if he doesn't get voted in. John Morant's a candidate. Kyrie's a candidate. Jamal Murray's always a candidate. I hate to say it, but James Harden's having a good year. Booker's a candidate. Ant-Man's a candidate. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the Kings to get an all-star, and certainly if they keep playing like this, they won't. The more you win, the better chances you have. I look at a team like Houston, who's their clear-cut all-star. There's a lot of arguments for several players, but at 20-9, they should have one at least. Memphis needs to have one. Denver's going to get Joker. LeBron will be in. So, part of it's the voting, part of it's the record. And so it'll be tough for the Kings to find themselves an all-star at all. Let me see. Manny to legit. J-Ross expectations against the Pistons tonight. Should be a must-win, right? Yeah, it feels like a must-win. Expectations, I have 0 right now. 0. I don't know what to expect. But must-win, yeah, it feels like that. Now, if they don't, what does that mean? On to the next one. I mean, that's the reality of it. I still think right now, the way this team is constructed, until they make a trade, like I said earlier, play the starting 5, play Herter, play Keon Ellis, play Trey Lyles, play that 8, let that 8 figure it out. If that 8 can't figure it out, either you make a trade or you make a move as far as your coach or your front office. I mean, that's the only other choices. I don't think that needs to be done yet. I don't, because I think the second you start doing that, I think the thought process behind that is to save the season. But I don't feel like it's strictly coaching. I don't feel like it's strictly roster. I don't feel like it's strictly front. Like it's all kind of working together. And I still think some of the metrics suggest that they can fix this. And maybe my leash is longer than it should be, but I would be a little bit more, and patience, a word that doesn't sound right when you've lost 4 in a row and you have higher expectations, but it doesn't mean I'm not on edge. Doesn't mean I'm not keeping my eye on everything, but it's kind of like we talked with Sam earlier. If you were to make a move, then what? What is it? Like naturally, when you think about making a trade, you think you're making your team better. That's the point of making a trade. But are you? You don't always do that. Let's do the example Sam brought up earlier, at least a player he brought up, Cam Johnson. I think if you added Cam Johnson, right away we're all going to look at what's the best of Cam Johnson. A guy that can shoot. A guy that's having a pretty good season. So you immediately think Cam Johnson's going to come in here and shoot the ball well and help this team. That's why you make that trade, right? So let's say this is just for example's sake. It's Herter and Lyles for Cam Johnson. That's just an example. Not even sure if that's even accurate, but let's just do it that way. Well, Herter was a really good shooter his first half year here, maybe more than that. Lyles can be a good shooter. They're all underperforming right now. Cam Johnson comes here. Could he underperform? Yeah. Did you just shuffle the deck chairs and maybe hurt your depth? Possibly. But you did the trade to make your team better. That's the thought process. And you also could get the best version of Cam Johnson. Doug McDermott's been a better shooter statistically in his career than the season he's been here. It does happen sometimes when you add a player and you just don't get the best version of themselves, whether it's the system you run, where the player is in their career, whatever. Those things do happen. So for me, I would sit this a little bit longer, run with those top 8, play them consistently for the next 10 games. Unless it just completely unravels. You have more games like Indiana, something has to be done. Something has to be done. But to me, that game feels like a little bit of an outlier in their overall performance. Not in the losing, but in their overall performance. They had chances to beat the Lakers. They certainly could have beat Denver in this losing streak. But you keep your eye closely on this. Closely. So, yeah, I would like them to win. I feel like it's a must-win. But that also must-win kind of gives it a flavor of if it's not, something has to change. I'm still not quite there unless you get a repeat performance like Indiana, where it's just embarrassing. Then you've done it twice. Then you're in a 5-game losing streak. Then something's seriously, seriously wrong. All right, we'll come back. We got Crosstalk with Alan Stiles and celebrity birthdays in our final segment. That is straight ahead.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Seasons change, but if you hope to stay healthy, your body needs to stay active year-round, whether that's in the gym or on the trail or at work, and that's where the Good Feet store can help. Good Feet's personalized arch support system supports all 4 arches, relieving pain in your feet, knees, hips, and back. And Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Visit goodfeet.com for an appointment or stop in for a free fitting. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
Here comes Floyd, throw over the middle. Intercepted by Fred Warner.
Faithful to the Bay.
Fred gets up and runs back the other way, 30.
Be there December 30th for Monday Night Football at Levi's Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers face the Detroit Lions.
20, one block and he's in.
It's the final regular season home game of the campaign and presented by SAP.
Touchdown!
Tickets are available now. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets.
San Francisco!
California, it's the Ford Year-End Sell-A-thon. 14 days of the biggest savings on an incredible selection.
So visit your California Ford dealer now through January 2nd and get great offers across the lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs, like the built Ford Tough F-150 truck, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 47 years and counting. Or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors. And check out the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. It's the Ford Year-End Sell-a-thon, and it's your chance to save. Whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric, now is the best time to get behind the wheel of your brand-new Ford truck or SUV and drive it home today. But hurry, these offers absolutely end January 2nd. So go to your California Ford dealer today. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system? You were a bit surprised at how much it cost, or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
And now,
here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Yeah. There's the man, Alan Stiles.
I looked down and there is no mic.
Uh-oh. You brought donuts in today.
Is this the wrong mic?
No, you're on the right mic. I hear you. You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can't hear either of you two.
You can't hear us? Okay.
Now I can hear you.
Now you can.
Yes.
Is that one fickle too?
I don't know. No, it's fine. It just was.
Dave doesn't play with that one like he plays with this one.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah. How was Christmas?
Great.
Yeah?
Great. Fam came up, party in the Thomas. Great time.
What's a Styles family tradition? Anything that's that has to happen?
You open the present on Christmas Eve, classic.
One?
Yes.
Okay.
We do the 7 fishes on Christmas Eve as well. My mom does that, and there's always something going on, and the halibut is not cooked or whatever it is, and then they came up for Christmas Day is choose your adventure, and they came up. We had a good time. My little sister made short ribs, braised for hours. It was very good. And towards the end of the night, I don't know what possessed me, but Chris will crack up because at one point we started off watching Christmas movies, right? And we watched all my favorites, The Grinch, Jim Carrey, 2000. Don't give me the cartoon. Give me the real deal.
Yeah.
Watch The Grinch, watch Jingle All the Way. And then I said, you know what? Let's watch Hall Pass. So we watched Hall Pass, and then after we watched Hall Pass, we started Us because they hadn't seen Us yet.
Okay.
And then we passed out.
Did you finish it?
No.
Are there movies that you feel like you watch at Christmas, but they're not Christmas movies?
I feel like there are a couple comedies there. It was we were trying to choose between Hall Pass and Couples Retreat.
Had you seen Hall Pass before?
Oh, yeah. That's one of my top 5.
Your top 5 is wild.
Every time I
like
say
Hall
that.
Pass.
No, your top 5 that I always laugh at is, what was it? Couples Retreat.
Yeah. Well, they're both there.
Well,
top 5.
The other day you put on your Twitter or on X,
yes,
my must-watch Christmas movies
Yes.
every year in no order. And 1, 2, 3.
I think I only did 4.
Okay, I haven't seen. Oh, okay, I was just going to ask.
Go ahead. There's 4 on the list. This is Alan's list.
What I think are on his list?
Yeah, so you just guess 4, and we'll tell you how many you got right.
I'm going to say.
This is his must-watch Christmas movie.
For Alan, he already said The Grinch, so I'm going to guess The Grinch.
That's one.
We've already talked about Jingle All the Way.
That's 2. Right.
And I'm going to guess Home Alone 1 and 2.
Okay, no, those are not on there.
Wow.
He has Christmas with the Cranks.
Oh my God.
So right now, I am
What's
not.
weird is like, Alan, I feel like you're a movie guy, right?
Not like you, but
Yeah, but like you watch a lot of movies.
Sure.
Yeah, you're a fan of movies.
Yes.
Like I think like me.
Apparently bad movies.
I don't think like we match on anything.
Except for Jingle All the Way.
Except Jingle All the Way.
I did, and Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks.
But I did see Christmas with the Cranks on a top Christmas list movie. So
Okay.
don't come at me like that.
So
But like you're missing like Christmas Vacation
But
and
here's
the Home
the
Alones.
thing.
And
By the way,
and I'm not saying that you're wrong for doing that. That's your Christmas. Watch whatever you like.
I saw I watched about 40 minutes of A Christmas Story.
Oh, it sucks.
One of the most bizarre movies. You'll shoot your eye out. It's a very bizarre movie.
I think Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, honestly, as well. Like, I watched those as a kid. They're like nostalgia. They're
Yes.
great to
Yeah.
me. I've had a few people that hadn't seen them before, and then they watch them like, these are terrible.
Yeah.
But to me, I don't know if it's the nostalgia part that makes it so good.
I mean,
but
when he was wailing on that kid, that was great.
Yeah.
But it's a bizarre movie.
So if you're 4, believe it or not, I have not seen Jingle All the Way.
Okay.
I have
Okay.
not seen The Grinch.
Okay.
I have not seen Christmas with the Cranks. But the one that I have not mentioned is great. I love This Christmas.
This Christmas is great.
I watched that twice this holiday
It's
season.
great.
Yeah,
We watched it on
You
Thanksgiving.
haven't seen it.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
good movie.
it's a great movie.
Good cast.
You got to watch Christmas with the Cranks. Tim Allen. I mean, no one does holiday movies.
No one has to see a Tim Allen movie.
So of the 3 of those others, The
Uh-huh.
Grinch, Christmas with the
Okay.
Cranks, or Jingle All the Way,
Uh-huh.
what you say Christmas with the Cranks is the one I have to see the most?
You got it's either I'm not saying the Grinch because you know the Grinch story. So it's between Jingle All the Way and Christmas with the Cranks. I would say you got to see Jingle All the Way. You have to.
What's the character? What's the little toy?
Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
Yeah.
And Chris wants me to
And
see
his
Scrooge.
sidekick Booster.
Yeah. Nobody wants you, Booster.
I have to tell you something during the break. There is something I never knew about Jingle All the Way until someone put it out on social media. So I have to show that to you and see
Will
if
Alan
you
like it?
No, I do not like it.
Apparently there's a Jingle All the Way too.
That's coming out or
Oh
happened?
yeah,
It already
with,
came out. And I don't know
Larry
why.
the Cable Guy, I think, is in it.
Yeah, I never watched it.
I'm not watching
I
that.
don't disrespect my history like
Original.
that. Yeah.
Did you watch more? Well, it sounds like you watched more other than NFL or NBA or other yesterday.
Man, that's kind of how we're starting the show. I mean, luckily for the NBA, the NFL games weren't great, but
Still
it's
probably
dicey,
better.
man. I mean, they got a problem. NBA has got a problem, and I don't want to do the whole, I don't know if it's 3-pointers. I don't know what it is, but I honestly had to force myself to watch Ant and Luka, and I feel like that's a problem.
Right.
Especially for somebody like me.
Yeah, who likes basketball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's a big boy.
What's coming up on the show today? Obviously that
we have Hunter Patterson.
Oh, nice.
Formerly of
Yes.
Sacramento.
He's in town?
Now he is in town.
Okay.
Now he covers the Pistons for The Athletic. That's coming up at 12:30. So we're going to talk to Hunter. We're going to have Brendan in at some point, and yeah, we're going to talk Kings and a lot of sound coming out of the Christmas Eve practice where De'Aaron said we don't really control our own fate, and I think that's kind of a weird thing to say, to be completely honest with you, because you do.
Yeah, there's a lot of basketball left.
I'm not saying nobody expects you. Sometimes he's just too real.
Yeah.
Like, just tell us you're going to go undefeated, even if you're not.
Right.
Because if you went undefeated, you would control your own fate.
Yeah, you'd be fine.
Yeah. But
Yeah, nice win
he's
streak.
sometimes he's kind of similar to me, a little too honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I got my wife a very nice Coach clutch, right? And I told her I was kind of annoyed at the place where I bought it because they tried to upsell me. So I ended up telling her that I didn't buy a more expensive version. I should have told her that.
Yeah.
Should have told her that.
I spent top dollar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I should have just said that. But it's like De'Aaron. You don't need to tell us everything. Yeah. Just say you're going to go undefeated until you don't. You know?
She was thankful for the gift, though, huh?
She was. And then I said, why did I say that?
Yeah, you're like, I didn't need to do that.
Didn't need to say it.
All right.
But I said it. That's De'Aaron.
Well, let's see how you do on our celebrity birthdays today. This is brought to you by our friends at Crumble Cookies. Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than Crumble Cookies. Are you off just tomorrow?
Tomorrow and then Christmas Eve.
You mean New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve.
Wait, so Friday and Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bizarre.
His decision, Jason.
Kind of like
go with
Christmas
it.
story.
Just being too honest.
Yeah, too honest.
Yeah. Okay, on this day in what year was the cinematic treasure Spice World? The movie from the Spice Girls.
I have a number. I have 3
You
numbers.
have an advantage, I think. You have a chance on this one because Chris
Should have
is his
4.
wheelhouse.
Chris got to go first. That's the
I'm
rules
going
of
to
movies.
say 1998.
Yeah, I was 97, 98, 99.
Which way are you going? Let me give you a hint. This is
You know, I'm going to say 1997.
98.
1997. Were you going to go 97?
No, I was going to go 99.
Because I was thinking 98, but then you said it released now, so it's December, so I'm thinking that, so that's why I changed it.
I'm not sure either. This one's an unfair one. It's before both of your time, but you know the movie, I believe. The Exorcist. I would have never known, but
The Exorcist
on this
came
day in what
out
year?
in 1970. 1976.
75.
Alan's closer. 73.
Come on!
Okay, happy birthday today to Jared Leto.
Ugh.
Morbius?
I don't know.
He was in American Psycho. I'm going to say Jared Leto is 47.
45.
He's 53.
Oh!
Yeah. Happy birthday to, from America's Most Wanted, the host, John Walsh.
I'm going to say he is 64.
Oh, no. He is 79.
We have a correct answer. He's 79.
Wow.
Happy birthday to the smoothest fielding shortstop of all time, Ozzie Smith.
Backflips.
Backflipping
into 66.
69.
Chris is closer, 70. How about Tim Legler?
54?
51.
Alan's closer, 58.
Ooh.
Legs. And we'll stop there. That's good. All right, big show coming your way.
Yes, sir.
Must win tonight.
I don't do that anymore.
I know, because that's what some of that goal it is, but if they don't, then they're on to the next one.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, but you can't have another pacer performance. That was unacceptable.
Well, look, and I want to say this. Everybody that is in everyone's DMs about, media needs to be harder. We're going to play some sound. Literally asked, did you quit on the team? It doesn't really get much harder than that.
Yeah.
Right? And they answered. So shout out Sac Media.
All right.
There
We
you go.
will have that and more with Alan Stiles coming your way next.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.